So, what is the opposite of a national treasure? Because that is exactly what Jaded Fanboy is. We'll get to Jaded Fanboy's review of The Flash after this.
About by making Cavill this guy again.
I like that. What is the opposite of a national treasure? I love that. That is brilliant.
Oh man, you are something else, bro. You are. I don't know. You're just special. You're special, and we love you.
I
And so interesting turn of events. Jaded Fanboy finally likes a comic book movie, and
finally, there have been other comic book movies I've liked.
So tell me, do you know my opinion on it yet?
No, I don't.
Do you want to know, or do you want to? I'll tell you after.
I'm assuming you at least liked it.
Jaded, this should be impossible. I'm gonna go back in time and fix this. Yeah, exactly.
You don't like a paradox.
This might be a paradox that of time and space and stuff. Yeah, no, I liked it. I liked it, but I think DC shot themselves in the foot with some of the special effects there.
Okay, I understand the special effects. The DC shot itself in the foot with that ridiculous dumbass ending because
as well the ending.
Okay, first of all, the ending was confusing because now suddenly I have no idea where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, that's the guy you brought. Again, I don't know if you want me to do spoilers or not.
Yeah. Go spoilers. Everyone's seen it.
What's his face? Clooney. You brought Clooney, the worst. Oh my God, I hate that guy. And you bring back Kilmer. Have Kilmer, not Clooney. I hated that Batman so much, and I don't want to.
I know, right? I was like, the funny thing they could have done with Clooney for me was have him. You know when they keep going back and reversing time, right, to try and save
going back and back.
I think they could have done one take where it was George Clooney in the bat plane, and it was some fruity black bat plane. You know, it wasn't cool. It wasn't a cool Keaton one. It was properly neon lit up and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was all that neon.
And then he goes, "I'm going after the big one," and Zod just completely destroys him in one move or something, just embarrasses him.
Don't kill Keaton's Batman.
Yeah. No, I thought the ending was it was a cheap joke.
Yeah, that was stupid.
It was just
it was a cheap joke.
Clooney should have been in all of those scenes with the other, old things. And they took out Linda Carter. They took out fucking Marlon Brando, bro.
Yeah, but again, would they have been able to have the rights? I don't know if they would have been able to get the rights. They would have. Oh, really? Because I think Marlon Brando's a little. Brando wasn't all there near the end of it, so I don't know if he was "Oh, I don't want anything out of whatever." But by the way, you had now, I would have liked Robin and Batgirl. Michael Connell,
Danny O'Connell, something O'Connell. What the fuck is his name? Something.
I remember. I would have at least liked the cameo of Robin and Batgirl. That would have at least been nice.
Yeah, instead, I think the Linda Carter and the
Linda Carter.
And they had the Penguin from the old one. Chris O'Donnell it is.
Chris O'Donnell.
They had the Penguin from the old Batman movies as well in this. The old Batman. What do you call it? The Batman television series. Yeah, they had him, dude. He was the best Penguin to date.
Right.
I'm not even. You know how I hate.
I mean, who was his competition? Danny DeVito. Come on.
You know how I hate. What's it called? The Adam West Batman.
The Adam West Batman. Oh, again, I love it. I love the
even
Joker.
till today. Still,
I'm sorry.
As much as I hate it, I still think Meredith. What was his name? Meredith, whatever.
Oh, there was three Catwomen, and I like the one who was the singer. I think she was the black girl. She was a singer.
Of course, you like the black girl.
Well, she was sultry. Come on, she was actually being a sultry Catwoman.
Yeah, everyone's shocked, man. Everyone is in a state of shock.
This is what happens. Hold on.
Chris, yeah. Can you just,
it's not a multiverse.
Give us a little tease. Don't give us a little tease. Open up the dress a little bit. Yeah, like.
Hold on. It's not so much
about this movie.
Okay, hold on. It's not so much a multiverse because everybody hated it and I liked it. So it's still parallel universe. Okay, if everybody else liked it and then I liked it as well, then we have an issue.
You hate everything. You hate everything that people hate. You hate things that people hate. You hate things that people love.
I have been saying this. Make a well done movie and I'll like it. And unfortunately for all of you, that's what the Flash movie was. It was a movie that wasn't a broken mess of brain dead stupid. That was a major plus. It wasn't a broken mess of brain dead stupid. It didn't require brain dead stupid every 10 minutes to keep the movie going forward. That was another major plus. It actually had, for all of you pretending that you give a rat's ass about character development, this movie was absolutely had the concept of character development better than any of the recent ones. I mean, obviously there have been other movies as well.
It was very character driven, yeah.
This movie was sloppy, it was messy, it was awkward, but everything worked. Everything in this movie worked. Like in the beginning of the movie.
Funny? Did you find it funny?
That was the thing about the funny. The funny that was in this movie was the type of funny that people aren't used to because they're used to, again, not that I want to take Nerdman's side on, MCU humor, but everybody's used to scene, and then quick, funny little joke, quick, funny little comment, quick, funny little jab. This movie didn't do that. The humor was actually part of the scene. It was actually like you actually had to pay attention to understand that it was humorous.
It wasn't quippy humor.
It wasn't quippy humor.
Which is one, and it's not dumb humor, which is another one that the comic things
that all of you are used to.
And it wasn't like fourth wall breaking humor as well. It wasn't like, I'm so aware I'm in a movie, so I'm gonna make a joke about like what is happening in the movie, that Shazam joke that got cut out where he's like, oh my god, I'm throwing a car at a dragon, like he's aware he's in a movie and we're watching him. I think the humor was actually just, as you said, it was pretty fun. One of the things that killed me, I was just like, this is so fucking stupid but funny, was when Michael Keaton is trying to he's using the Gatling gun or whatever to I say Gatling gun.
No, the grappling hook.
Grappling hook. And then Flash is just like got his leg up on him.
And then Flash goes up on him. Well, the joke is because every time he's carrying somebody, that's how he's carrying them. So in his brain, that's how Batman would want to carry him. So he's going, oh, okay, I'm just going to be prepared. Yeah. And then Batman looks at him and goes, oh, okay, we're not doing it that way. Okay, that's the joke. You have to pay attention.
Yeah. No, it's true because every time I think Keaton has ever done that in the films, it's been with a chick.
He grabs the person by the thigh and then shoots up.
Yeah. No, but it's also specifically it's been with a hot chick, right?
Right.
So
no, he's done it with. He's rescued some civilians, I think, with that as well.
I don't think he has.
I have to go back, but I think he might have.
Like there's never been a dude that he's done that with. I'm pretty sure
Probably
in his
not.
movies, which would be if that's how deep they were going, because I didn't even think of that. If that's the deep cut that they were going, then that's even funnier.
That's what I was thinking. That Keaton's Batman carries people a certain way, Barry carries people a different way, and that was the joke.
Right. I genuinely thought this movie was really funny. And not, again, not in a typical
it was head
way.
shaking. It was head shaking at times, but it was still funny.
Yeah, it wasn't in a typical way of comic book movies. It was like it was a slightly more. I wouldn't say it was sophisticated, slightly more sophisticated humor in a way.
You had to pay attention to actually understand that there was a joke.
Yeah,
it didn't go. It didn't go. Scene. Joke. There's a joke here. Pay attention. There's a joke.
Yeah. Like, I'll give you another example. This one was a typical joke, right? Like, this was a joke they've done, I think, maybe twice before even. But this was the best version of that joke. They did it in Wonder Woman 1, which it was actually quite funny. They did it in Justice League, where it really wasn't that funny. And they did it in this movie, where it was hilarious. Where Wonder Woman takes the lasso of truth and it sticks around his arm. And you just have Ben Affleck going off about like how, really, if I wanted to save like people, I'd probably like try and end poverty or some shit rather than all this. That was funny as fuck.
That's the joke. It's not some stupid, oh, I really think you're sexy, Wonder Woman. Oh wow, that was so creative. That was so I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Well, like in the beginning of the movie, after he saves the babies, right, and he saves the nurse is just screaming hysterically.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's hilarious. Why? Because that's exactly what she would do.
Yeah.
Whereas in any other movie, he would have grabbed her, brought her down. She would have been like, oh, okay, thank you. Whereas now she's literally in panic mode. Because the last thing she remembered was falling out into the ground. The next thing she sees is she's on the ground, but she's still under the mentality that I was falling, and she's screaming. It was great.
All right. For the sake of this stream, because I've given my opinion on. I think it's funny and blah blah blah. I want to get to the bottom of how Jaded Fanboy likes a comic book movie. It didn't matter if it was one I liked or disliked. I'm just fascinated by how you like the comic book movie, especially one with all this time travel stuff in it that they're so easy to be holes. How are there no holes in this movie, dude?
Because
you tell me how there are no holes in this movie.
That spaghetti analogy took all of the broken, brain dead stupid that the MCU movies have done and went, because with the MCU movies, there's like 3 different ways the multiverse works. There's 3 different ways the alternate timeline works.
Yeah.
And what the movies do is we got all 3 different versions. We'll just do however we want it, because we're covering our ass because we have 3 different ways of how it works. And the fans are going, yeah, sure. This movie actually makes it clean. It works like spaghetti. It's stupid, but it works. You have some timelines that are really, really close, but just have some small variant. Those are the 2 spaghetti pieces that are together. But then you have spaghetti pieces that are like crossed, which means that multiverse is completely different, where it's made out of, say, I don't know, various colors of ink. So it was a great example that there's no beginning and there's no end, because you're at it, because where it crosses,
time isn't linear, right?
Point.
Yeah.
So if you go back into that time, guess what? Another bowl of spaghetti, and it's like that works. And like a DC movie actually explained multiple timelines and alternate universes as cleanly as possible than other sci-fi movies.
I'll tell you one joke. I really like the Eric Stoltz, Michael J. Fox stuff as well. He says, I really thought they would do some type of callback with that later in the movie. Yeah, I wish they had done something funny with that, Eric's it would have been cool to have Michael J. Fox as like the villain in the end. You know what I mean? Like that would have been cool, right? Like Michael J. Fox is playing the Reverse Flash or some shit like that,
right?
But could I just one thing I wanted to say about the Eric Stoltz thing? It would have been hilarious if one of them had have actually said, "No, I thought he was woefully miscast." like the movie's great, but something about his casting just doesn't feel right, or something like that.
He should have been the dad or something.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like about that was that scene though. That was the MCU humor because they just kept going with it. And the problem is that Barry's not an idiot. Barry should, it's not one person going Eric Stoltz, it's everybody. That should have been his first clue that he's probably in the wrong time.
Right.
Because I'm going Eric Stoltz. I go, oh, I guess that person's confusing the character. That's the in joke, is that he's supposed to be. Again, it's an Easter egg, so to speak. But then all of them are going, no, it's Eric Stoltz. And then they started naming all the various different other actors from all the other different movies.
Yeah.
And I'm going,
I think they were trying to say he was in shock, but you're right.
Again, but they were trying to they were ignoring that for the sake of the joke. And I'm going, that's a problem. Right. That to me is a problem. That if he had gone, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense, or what's going on, then it would have worked. But he's just like, no, you're all wrong. You have no idea what you're talking about. You got all the actors wrong. It's like, no, Barry, get a clue.
Yeah. You're right. And what about this thing of him killing himself at the end, like the younger Barry who becomes Dark Flash killing himself? Because go on.
That when you first see, I don't know what, the black suited Flash, right? Again, this is what I mean about this movie was messy, it was sloppy, it was awkward, but it still worked. So we get that one scene of, the black costume Flash about to kill Barry, and I'm going, and then it's gone, and then it's like, is that like the main villain of the movie? Is he gonna come back? And like there's 10 minutes left in the movie, and I'm going, the black costume Flash, what's going on with him? But they bring it back at the end and they explain it. I'm going, my God, they made it work.
Right, again, they explained why he punched him out into that.
And they explained why he attacked, the Flash. Everything works.
I love the bit where he goes, "You're my hero." That was actually really cool.
You're my hero, right?
He was about to kill him. The only problem I have with the Dark Flash, and watching it again, I enjoyed it more because I missed that little bit where he explains that he punched him out into the timeline, because I was so ready for that third act. Oh, this is the third act, Flash versus Dark Flash fight, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I didn't get that, and I was kind of like a little bit like, and then the George Clooney thing, and I was like, that I didn't love. And then all that multiverse stuff where, you saw the things, but they didn't quite look, the CGI. I know you said it was in Flash vision, but I still think he could have done a little bit better with this.
I understand that the special effects were not great, but I'm sorry. I want, for a lot of people, their number one requirement is great special effects. Good story, good plot, good characters, that's at the bottom. I'm the opposite. When I go to a movie, I don't care what it is. My top thing is story, plot. Special effects are near the bottom. Sorry.
Yeah. I get that. But I was going to say that, don't you see any kind of... Because I thought you would rip this part to shreds, because he ends up killing himself, but surely he should be from a different multiverse now.
No, right? Because he's killing himself.
No, but he kills himself. But like Barry in the beginning,
right,
says like, "Oh, I want to get my powers,"
right?
So that he basically says, "No, I want to give you the younger Flash powers because if you don't get powers, then maybe I won't be able to get home."
Right? No.
And then you find out later. Why does he want to give him powers then?
Because I'm watching that. I'm going, this was brilliant on this movie's part. This movie was doing, okay, I'm going to separate old Barry and young Barry, because the multiverse Barry is 18 years old and the Barry that we know is like 25. Okay. So we have old Barry and we have new Barry. We never got an old Barry's origin story. This movie was using the young Barry as old Barry's origin story. It was brilliant. It was killing two birds with one stone. It had to have young Barry's origin story. So, since we're doing young Barry's origin story, let's use it to explain old Barry's origin story.
Right.
Because there's that one scene where young Barry gets his powers and he does that Speedy Gonzalez pose.
Which is funny.
What does old Barry say? Yes, the Speedy Gonzalez pose. That's exactly what I did. This is the movie going, this is the old Barry's origin story. Yeah. We never told you in the other movies. That was brilliant. I loved it.
And what do you make of this criticism that's going around that the young Barry was too goofy? Because I find like they're using
point, you morons. That's what's called character development. It's showing you what older Barry was like at 18 and how he's changed and matured at 25. You won't know the difference unless you have that annoying version of him. You have to have that annoying version of young Barry. Otherwise, you won't have realized and have seen how much older Barry has matured and grown. Like, how do you miss this unless you don't actually give a rat's ass or know anything about what character development even means? He had to be annoying. He had to be young and immature.
Pup, I will say, Daniel, that was very efficient going through the origin and plot points without getting weighed down in the exposition dumps. And you're right about that. And
they did something. They showed, they didn't tell. They didn't do a 20-second flashback. They actually made it as part of the damn story.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently y'all missed it because it's like, well, the CGI wasn't that good and there's not that many action scenes. And why is there character development? I need action. Again, the movie was very awkward and messy in how it did it, but they still made it work.
Absolutely, yeah. What was I going to say? I was going to say something about the origin story and how they did it. I was really... it's funny that I was shocked about this, but I was genuinely shocked about this. Because when you came out of Zack Snyder's Justice League, right. I was like, how are they going to do the origin of Barry Allen? Like, right. And are they going to do the chemicals?
Right.
Are they just going to skip that? Because it seemed to me like they didn't. How would I put it? Like it was all messed up. It was like he was going to university to get a criminology degree, and I'm like, well, why would he in a police chemicals thing and whatever? But they somehow actually made it work, and it was literally the origin, with the lightning and the You know,
the chemical spill and everything.
Chemical spills. So I did like that about it, because I was just like,
and then at the end of the movie,
I was sure they were gonna fuck it up, like, oh, it's just lightning hit him or something like that, you know.
Then at the end of the movie, you actually see Barry willing to sacrifice himself to try and get his powers back. You wouldn't that Barry wouldn't have happened. The Barry of the Justice League and early Flash wouldn't have done that. That's to show that he's making the sacrifices. Because one of the other things that I loved is that one of the things I hated about Flash in the JLA is because he's so powerful, they had to relegate him to cleanup boy. And in this movie, he literally says, "I hate being cleanup boy, and it's always Batman's mess." It's like even the director of the movie understands that Flash has been relegated to cleanup boy, because you can't actually have him be part of the main fight, because otherwise, again, in what was it? Justice League.
Why do you think so many people so? For instance, the baby scene in the beginning, I thought was really good. Bar the special effects, I thought.
Well, of course, bar the special effects. Obviously, I'm not defending the special effects.
But I thought that it was a really good kind of action scene. I thought it was actually an amazing action scene, to be honest. Like what the Batman was doing in that car, it was like everything that I've always said that I don't necessarily advocate for, because I like the realism kind of Batman more, you know, like the Patterson or
I love Batman in this movie. But I was shocked.
This Batman was like straight out of like JL series or the comics, or you know, something like that, and it was fucking glorious. I have to say, like, as somebody who's not even into that like element, you know, because the last time I saw that kind of Batman was in, you know, Batman and Robin and
right,
you know, and Batman Returns, but it really worked in this one, man.
It worked. It's like that's what Batman would do. I'm sorry.
So that was really cool to see in the beginning. But I was gonna ask, do you think the Ezra Miller stuff is impacting people's viewing of this, or do you think
no? People are using the Ezra Miller stuff as a pretend way of trying to trash this movie. Okay, because it means nothing. It means nothing, and you know it doesn't mean nothing, because I read somewhere, I heard somewhere that some actor praised this movie, Ezra Miller's was like great at this character and stuff. Yeah, I have to agree. Ezra Miller did really well in acting. Anybody who's challenging Ezra Miller's acting skill after seeing this movie, sorry, you're full of shit. You're full of shit. He pulled it off. He did an amazing job. There's that one scene where he's in the Batcave and he gets pissed off over how the younger Barry had the stuffed monkey on the dartboard. He went from being calm to literally pissed off on a dime. He did an amazing job. His acting was great in this movie. Again, it's not, the actor from the Batman movie. No, the movie from the Joker. The movie The Joker.
Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah, he's not Joaquin Phoenix level acting. I'm not saying he was that good. I'm just saying he pulled it off a lot better than I expected. He's no Joaquin Phoenix. I'm not saying that. I'm not comparing him to that.
No, it's crazy.
Just saying he pulled it off.
He's really good. And, he was actually in another movie recently, which he's almost been entirely cut out of. It was called Dali Land. And he plays a young Salvador Dali. He's speaking Spanish the whole way through, and he's pretty damn good in the scenes that he's in. And it's unfortunate, but they cut pretty much, unless, because the big thing was like it was supposed to be like Dali as he's older, played by I can't remember what his name is. The guy who played
Dali when he was older was a lot more eccentric.
Yeah, no, but the guy who played him was the bad guy in Iron Man 3, who turned out to be trash in the end. What was his? Ben Kingsley. Ben Kingsley.
Oh, Ben Kingsley. Oh.
Yeah, Ben Kingsley plays the older, and then Ezra plays the younger.
Again, it's Ben Kingsley. He's an incredible auteur. I'm not going to challenge his
actor. Yeah. No, but I'm just saying that Ezra, for the couple of scenes he was in, was really good as Dali. Yeah. So it would have been a big year for him, but he just, I don't know, man.
Again, hold on. Daniel Martin, go up one. Go to Daniel Martin. Go up one. Yeah, this one. He did the two Barrys incredibly well. They were two distinctly different characters, and he did a great job defining the differences between, like, one was Barry Allen, and the other one was a character from, like, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And obviously, that's probably a homage to Bill and Ted, even.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it like that.
Oh, yeah. I saw that instantly. He played two very distinct. They were different, but at the same time, they were still the same because they were the same character. But he pulled off the two different personas.
Did you notice how the people he was working with in the
guy and the girl,
they were the ones who were in the flat living with him at college?
Yeah, they were those versions of younger Barrys, because that's why he was looking at them, because like I saw the hair and I'm going, is that her? Like I didn't catch the guy.
Yeah.
But I did catch the girl, and I was going, I didn't know if that was her 100%, but you confirmed it. It was her. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't notice that, because I was wondering why is he so weirded out by the girl? I think that's
why he was so weirded out by the girl.
And I mentioned that is because I feel like there's some scenes missing here. Like, I don't
probably.
know if you got the sense of
in this apparently there's supposed to be a 4-hour version of this movie, and I'm more than ready and willing to watch it.
I would watch a 4-hour version of this movie. I totally would. I think I wouldn't want them to do what like Zach did and just put everything in there. Like take the good scenes and like, put it in, but don't just put everything in there. And probably they're not going to do it because it's going to cost a lot of money, because probably the VFX isn't finished on.
Yeah, that's probably why. That's probably why the VFX. That's probably why the VFX was so bad, is because. I don't know the name of the director. I forget who directed it. He made a 4-hour movie. Yeah. So they made a 4-hour movie, and they go, you got $100 million for special effects, and instead of using the $100 million for an hour and a half, for 2 hours, he used $100 million for 4 hours, and that's probably why.
True, but most of the time they film a lot more. But
I know. I'm not using the bad special effects. I'm just making a joke.
So okay, what is it? I don't think
Supergirl was great.
Done this performance. I don't think Grant Gustin could have done this performance either. I'm being straight up fucking factual with you. Like
Grant Gustin? I don't recognize.
Grant Gustin is the Flash from the TV show.
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really seen the show that much, but
I'm telling you, he can't.
Oh, you can't.
He couldn't have done it. I'm not. No disrespect to him. I was disappointed he wasn't in this movie. Actually, I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, because the '90s Flash had a cameo.
The '90s Flash didn't. That's what annoyed me as well.
I did.
No, they did. One person who was a Flash character from the TV show, but he played the original. He played the Jay Garrick Flash in the.
No. There was a black and white Flash that literally
that was Jay Garrick.
Right, but I could have sworn that there was another Flash in a red suit.
No.
Maybe I missed
it. It was Jay Garrick with the hat, and that was one thing I didn't like. I was like,
I didn't like that either.
With these cameos, there wasn't enough Flash stuff, and it didn't seem like a lot of DC. It seemed actually most of the cameos were Superman stuff, really, apart from Adam West. And then the movie itself was more concerned with Batman's history than
that was the other thing. It's like, it's not a Batman. I love Michael Keaton, but they kept him on the side as much as possible up until, because they kind of wanted. They made 2 little mini Justice League movies in this, and I wasn't crazy about it, but it was fine.
Yeah. Am I hearing Jaded actually like something? This is something I didn't expect. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well,
I had to come on immediately and find out why before he changed his mind.
Arkham Unlimited. That's the thing. Arkham Unlimited. Okay, hold on. Actually, this is okay. This is gonna get Nerdman mad at me too. When you say that what young Barry was doing in this movie, that is what an inexperienced version of a superhero does. What they did in the Batman movie is not what an inexperienced version of a Batman does. When he's experienced when the movie needs him to be, and inexperienced when they don't need him to be. In this Flash movie, young Barry was inexperienced the entire time, and that's how it works. I hate to break it to you, but the Flash movie did a better version of how to be an inexperienced of establishing a young new superhero better than the Batman did. I know you love the Batman movie. I know you love the Batman.
This is what I'm talking about. The hatred, it comes out again. This is why I don't want to platform you. But anyway, look. So your suggestion there is ridiculous. One, Batman and Flash are very, very different types of characters. So Flash being inexperienced is going to be very different to the Batman being inexperienced.
Right.
The Batman still has his talents and stuff like that, but he's emotionally stunted at that point. He still has not processed in any kind of healthy way the trauma at the center of why he's become Batman.
So you didn't have a problem.
Just as pure fucking rage and anger. That's the whole thing.
So you didn't have a problem with an emo Batman. Okay, that's fine.
You see, this is why I love the way you just minimize what I just said. You
that's
just love to minimize what I just said. That is not what I just said. You just minimized it completely. That's fine.
I just boiled it down.
I know how you roll, Jaded.
Components.
I know how you roll. All right, let's see what else everyone else says.
I don't
do the Flash, and did you like it? See,
okay,
you've got to do it. Like this is.
I don't do numbers. Numbers are meaningless.
Is it below a B?
I don't do numbers. I don't do a rating system. It doesn't mean anything. It's irrelevant.
Is it a B plus?
I'm not giving it a rating. I will say it is it's sloppy, it's messy, and it's awkward, but everything works. It's not filled with brain dead stupid. It doesn't require it being a broken mess of brain dead stupid to make it work and to keep the story going. Yes.
Can we give it a jaded
there is no number system.
No, hear me out. Can we give it a jaded, not full of brain dead stupid certified?
Yeah, it's not. It's not full of brain dead stupid.
We have to make a certificate for this. The Flash, this is better than any reviews it's had so far. Tom Cruise can go fuck himself. The Steven Spielberg, whoever else saw the movie, all the glowing reviews in the beginning. They
don't mean anything. They don't mean anything.
It is Jaded approved, non-brain dead stupid approved by Jaded is the most massive achievement that the Flash has.
Yeah, no, it's not. Here's the problem. Hold on. Here's the problem. It's not an achievement for the movie because the majority of the audience don't give a damn about a movie being full of brain dead stupid. Like a movie can be full of brain dead stupid and they don't care.
That may well be true, but this is the first non-brain dead stupid movie since the Fantastic Four from the early 2000s that you've given. So I have to call Warner Brothers. I have to call Warner Brothers right now and tell them they need to put this on the Flash poster, man. this has to go on the Flash poster. No, we have to get guys. How can we get to Andy Muschietti?
I was under 1,000 subscribers is people are gonna care. Please.
I just want to know how we could get to Andy Muschietti to tell him I need this on a Flash poster. I need to, and once that Flash poster comes out, I need to get that Flash poster myself, man.
Well, I'll get it myself.
The edit version of the best DC movie since The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight sucked. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, it's the best movie since Rise of the Silver Surfer, the best CBM.
No, Rise of the Silver Surfer was a piece of shit movie, but it had the Silver Surfer in it, so it's the exception to the rule.
I'm going to take exception to that because I went back and watched those movies because you remember I told you that I didn't hate those movies.
Okay.
You know, so
the problem still.
I went back and I actually watched both Fantastic Fours back to back, like the early ones, and I've got to tell you, I don't think they're bad. I really don't. I think they've got some cheesy moments in it, but like they're the Fantastic Four. Do you know what I'm saying?
I agree. But the thing is, again, it's not like it's full of brain dead stupid. It's just that they were more focused on being a humorous version of the group than an actual superhero group. You know, him going to the wedding, him going to the bachelor party. You know, Sue Storm. Like they were changing powers. That's not how it works. But that was
fun. What are you talking about when they were changing powers?
Well, because I knew the storyline about how Dr. Doom actually gets the powers. And I'm going, why are you intermingling, you know, Super Skrull into, because at the end of the movie, the Human Torch ends up becoming the Super Skrull. And it's like, no. Well, yeah, because he ends up having, because he ends up absorbing all four of their, all of their powers, right? To be able to beat Dr. Doom. So by the end of the movie, Storm is able to be, you know, because he'll be on fire, but then he'll be invisible, and then he'll have a stone fist, and then he stretches it like Mr. Fantastic. By the end of the movie, they made the Human Torch be Super Skrull, and I'm going, that was cheesy. Just give me the Super Skrull as a villain. That's why I didn't like it.
No, it makes sense. I get that. What else do we want to say? Well, I mean, I'm just going to say that I don't think that's fantastic. Like, they're not masterpieces. They're not. They're not. They're good for comic book movies. I feel like the MCU did movies like that, except they just took out maybe 20% of the cheese. And I actually find the cheese charming. You know, I think if the MCU had a little bit more of that cheese, I'd find it a little bit more charming. You know, like going to the bachelor party and doing, you know, dances with where his arms are like stretching. The women are loving it. I like that kind of cheese in a comic book because I remember reading comic books when you see that kind of shit. You know. Hated Galactus. Yeah,
I do. It's just that movie was just relying on it too heavily. That was the other thing. And okay,
movies.
Hold on, Daniel. It wasn't Galactus. It was Galactus from the Ultimate Universe. That's what it was. It wasn't Galactus from the 616. It was a character named Galactus from the Ultimate Universe, and that's why it was a giant cloud.
Like Gas Lactus.
I don't care. I wasn't a big fan of. I wasn't.
I don't give a shit. Universe, so. Gas Lactus. Anyway, all right. Like back onto the Flash. So let's go through.
Batman was amazing. The only thing I didn't like.
What do you think of Keaton?
The only thing I didn't like.
Did you think he captured what Keaton used to be in those old Batman movies better than No Way Home?
That was the thing. He wasn't the same Batman from the first movie. No, he was a lot more, because the problem with the situation was in '89, because of the way the suit was built, Keaton was very restricted in his movements, so he couldn't do the same thing.
You don't mean from an acting perspective. You mean?
Oh no, not from acting. I'm just talking about the way Batman. In this movie, he's all over the place because he doesn't have the same suit. He now has a suit and the special effects that allow him to be able to move. So yeah, he was a lot more, physical. He was moving around a lot more. So yeah, but as for the same character, that I had a problem with, simply because, one, it's not the same universe. It's not the same Batman. So there's no more crime in Gotham. So you stopped being Batman. Okay, so why are you a hobo living in your house?
Because
that was the part the movie didn't explore.
He hasn't dealt with this. But again, you're talking more from a writing perspective than an acting one. But yeah,
from an acting. He was fine. He was fine. He was great. You mean as in his acting? Oh yeah, he definitely still captured. Like it was the Batman from Batman '89. It was the same grimace, the same looks, the same. Oh yeah.
He did. That was really, really good. I thought he did that better than Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield captured the spirit of their Spider-Man.
Yeah, because they were just owning it.
They were just themselves, right? They didn't really, whereas the actual villains in those movies in No Way Home actually did capture what they were.
Like Doc Ock was the same.
You reminded me of something, dude. You know what would have been fucking hilarious? You know how they used to do those edits in Batman '89 where you'd see Batman like punch somebody in the face, but it would just be the hand, right?
Right.
And then you'd see like a kick to the face, but it would like close up to the foot, so you just see the foot. Right. I would have loved to see an action scene, right, just right in the middle after he's done all that CGI bullshit, right? Like, so that you can see like, they're obviously updating how he moves, but just one scene where he just did that, like to somebody, like where it was the quick edits, you see that just the hand hit the face,
right?
And then
again, so many people would have that would have been like an Easter egg that so few people would have caught. Yeah, I want to address this. You guys pick up on the choreography of the Keaton action scene in the underground Russian facility. They basically tried to do the BVS warehouse scene, but less brutal. That was so blatant. And here's the thing. I liked that better than the warehouse scene. Why? Because this movie showed that you didn't have to do it as brutally as Batfleck did. I'm not saying it was as great action-wise, because, again, it was a great scene. But this movie showed that you could have done the warehouse scene without being that brutal and still have established the Batman character the same.
Sure, and also even the first scene with Ben Affleck, where he was, like, using... You didn't
have to have that brutal of Batman.
Yeah, you really didn't. So yeah, I think that argument is
like Daniel. When I was watching,
I like the warehouse scene a lot. Like I don't know that. I think that the action scenes in this should be better than the Zack Snyder ones. But the problem is just those little special effects in between. If those were completely clean, because that's the problem. Right. In the Zack Snyder ones, they're completely clean, bro.
They're beautiful.
That's why I can't say, like, for instance, that he did the Speed Force better in this movie than in Zack Snyder's movie. He did do the Speed Force better in this movie.
Oh, absolutely.
The special effects weren't there for you to fucking see that.
all the budget, the majority of the budget went to showing what happened when he entered the Time Force.
I think it's also on the
all the money went.
I think also on the 2 Ezras. I think the 2 Ezras and that. And I just think they should have been more ambitious. I think once they saw the script, they should have been more ambitious. Tell me if you agree with me. Wouldn't it have been cool if instead of George Clooney coming out of that car, it was Thomas Wayne? Like, from the BVS.
Here's the thing. No, BVS, you're right.
The beginning of BVS, right?
You're right. I'm not arguing that you're right, but that would have opened up such a large can of worms that there's no way they would be able to. They would just have to go, oh yeah, it's just a cameo, and not work with it. That would be too much to work with.
Why do you say that?
Because there's so many things. Because if you made a Thomas Wayne coming out, there'd be so many things that you could do with it, and I think that they would waste it. And I would be disappointed.
Oh no,
they could do they could do the Elseworlds where Thomas Wayne becomes Batman. Like, are they going to do that one? Are they going to have it that it's Thomas Wayne because in this universe, his son dies?
You mean beyond the Flash?
Beyond the Flash movie.
Oh, you mean like what would that he would have to be the Batman for the
right?
I didn't mean that. I just meant that.
Cool. I think it would be a beautiful scene. I would have loved that. Absolutely.
It would have been way better than George Clooney. I think.
Oh, anybody's better than George Clooney.
It wouldn't have got the applause because, like, I heard actual applause in.
I couldn't care less. I was no, because I was with Barry. I go, who the fuck are you? I was like, why the fuck are you in this movie? Oh God, I hate George Clooney's back. I it's not that I don't like the actor. The actor's fine.
Yeah, no, but here's the thing, Daniel. I think you could have. They were open to doing a Flash 2, weren't they?
Well,
they were open. I know what you're saying. Like James Gunn's universe, it would have maybe that would have conflicted with James Gunn's universe or his plans or whatever.
This movie's not over.
But you could do that. You could do the Thomas Wayne thing where he realizes, oh, I put the fucking tomatoes at the top of the thing.
I've
changed the universe again, and now I really have to change it. Except this time, he goes back and he tries to change the tomato thing, and then he finds that the Reverse Flash won't let him. So the Reverse Flash keeps fucking him up every time he tries to change things back. And then it's like that would be the main storyline of how he can overcome Reverse Flash before this universe ends, because basically Diana and Arthur are having World War III basically. And they've got some doomsday weapon and they're gonna set it off, right? And he has to change the universe before that happens, right? So he, essentially, he doesn't destroy his own universe. I think that would have been a really cool storyline for the second movie. But that George Clooney thing just should have been at another point in the movie. It really should have been. It shouldn't have been.
Don't even everybody. It's even George Clooney acknowledges the fact that everybody hated his Batman.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous thing to have him as like a big ending. Like, even if it was Val Kilmer, I would have been happy.
I would have much preferred Val Kilmer. I really would have. I definitely because I would have loved.
Val Kilmer can't do it, obviously, but.
Oh no, okay. I'm just saying I would have loved Val Kilmer's Batman because that way we could have had. Because then we could have. Carrie. The guy that did the Riddler in Kilmer's Batman.
Oh, Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey. That way we can have a Jim Carrey versus the Batman, Jim Carrey's Riddler versus the Batman Riddler, and see who wins.
Oh, another fucked up thing would have been if Robert Pattinson walked out.
Yeah.
That would have
been crazy. Robert Pattinson could have been in there. There could have easily been a Robert Pattinson.
No. Say Robert Pattinson walked out instead of George Clooney.
Oh, then I would have hated it. I would have hated
that
it.
would have blown people's minds because
that would have blown people's minds. Then people would have freaked out if it was Pattinson's Batman.
I just don't see where you could go with George Clooney's Batman. I mean, I'm
you
not
can't.
going to watch.
It has to be a joke.
Say there was a Flash 2. Yeah, it's just a joke. It's a throwaway joke.
It's a throwaway joke.
Flash 2. You can't expect me to watch George Clooney play fucking Batman in the beginning of the movie. I am not watching.
You would have to absolutely change his Batman so much that it's not even the same character. So then why even bother?
Right. That's true. What's true? You have to tell us what's true because we probably moved past the point you're talking about. Wonder if they approved Christian Bale. I wouldn't have been that excited by Christian Bale. I have to be honest, because Christian Bale's too obvious. It's so obvious. It's like this is weird. I'm going to say this. I prefer George Clooney to Christian Bale in terms of the cameo.
Really?
It would it would have been the same level for me. Like it's
I didn't hate
obvious.
Christian Bale.
Like Christian Bale, everyone loves Christian Bale's Batman.
I didn't
like let's go Christian Bale's. I know you didn't, but like a lot of people do. Like it was a major fucking franchise. You know, you can't deny that. And I'm saying if they brought Christian Bale, I would have preferred that like in a second movie, you know, something you know, to look forward to, like, oh, you know, Christian Bale in one scene or something.
Guys, I would have loved to have seen his smirk, because he has that smirk that he does when he plays Bruce Wayne. So that would have been nice. Yeah.
But George Clooney was, at least that was funny. Whereas Christian Bale, if he walked out, I would have been like, oh, yeah, that's obvious. And
that makes sense. The idea was that it was supposed to be a joke. The problem
I think you needed something that would blow people's minds. And I think
Pattinson's Batman would have been better.
Wayne or Pattinson's Batman would have just been like...
would have been absolutely amazing. Even though I don't like him that much, it still would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Now again, this movie does have some mistakes in it. I'm not gonna say that it's a perfect movie. It does have some mistakes, but again, it's some mistakes, some little issues.
Yeah, exactly. So Daniel, I was basically saying that it would still be in the Flash universe, not that Thomas Wayne is the Batman for the main universe. It will still have to be like Flash has to solve the problem, and even Thomas Wayne doesn't want to be Batman. He'd rather his son be alive and stuff. Like that, so.
Like again, having Michael Keaton's Batman be a hobo in his own house, that made no sense, and there was no reason for it. And there might have been a 5-minute little thing in the movie that explains it, but they ended up cutting it, and it's like,
you know when I was like sold on his version of Batman in this movie, because he was excellent. He was just epic the whole way through, dude. Even when he was like, how much do you weigh? Like, he was measuring it. I was like, yes, that's exactly what his Batman would do. That's fucking amazing.
And the other thing was when they go into the kitchen, that fight scene was literally a replication of Batman first encountering Flash in Justice League.
Really?
Yeah, take a look, because he's doing it and he's acting. Because remember the scene where he throws the knife, he throws the batarang, and Barry Allen just does this and looks at it go by. In this movie, Michael Keaton's Batman throws the knife at the young Barry, and what does young Barry do? Just goes back and looks at it and just watches it go by. But he doesn't actually catch it.
Trying to kill him, basically.
Right, and it was like and my other one was the other scene. This was such a brilliant fucking line. Is they were fighting, they were doing everything, and young Barry goes, "God, I wish you guys could have seen that in slow motion."
Oh, and we did.
the audience did see it in slow motion so that we could see it. But Barry's going, oh, all of you couldn't see it in slow motion. And he goes, I wish you guys could see it in slow motion. I go, that was a way of breaking the fourth wall without breaking the fourth wall. It was such a brilliant line.
Here's where I was sold on Keaton's, because I was basically in an erotic state for most of this movie. Like, it was really an erotic experience up until the last act. Not even the last act, just the last bit of the last act. But where I was sold on Michael Keaton's Batman was when he was in the kitchen. Like, I can't remember what exactly he was saying or whatever, but he did that little Michael Keaton shuffle.
Yeah.
You know, like, kind of like, I'm doing it myself, but you can't see. But he did this little Michael Keaton, like, kind of shuffle that he did as Batman, like in the 89 Batman. And it's like, that's totally what he do. That is exactly what, like, Michael Keaton would fucking do. It's like, he played it as the eccentric millionaire Batman that he was, like, back then. Like, because that's what Burton, you know, that's why he was interested in the character, because he's interested in, like, these eccentric weirdos, lonely weirdos like Edward Scissorhands and all of that kind of thing. And he played it like that, and I was like, yes, that's exactly right.
I'm sorry. Again, I only saw it the one time.
That's what my city would be if I was a superhero. It would be Erotic City. Fuck Metropolis or Gotham City. The Nerd Man, the protector of Erotic City. So you basically
Cole, there was more to it than that.
And things like
Cole, I'll make it simple. It was awkward, it was messy, but everything worked. That was the thing. Everything worked. And Cole, you're gonna hate me for it, but Ezra Miller's acting in this was top notch. It wasn't 10 out of 10 in your thing, but it was good. The humor is a cover-up. The humor was a lighthearted movie. What do you mean the humor is a cover-up?
Well, I've got to tell you, I'm in as much shock as you are about this.
See, the reason you're in shock is because you guys aren't actually used to what a well-crafted story is like. You're not used to it. So, you know, it's a little confusing to you.
Yeah, no, I mean, oh, by the way, guys, like, subscribe, please. It would be really helpful for us. And please subscribe to the Jaded Fanboys channel, where he basically...
Well, I
described him
I can't do a video on the Flash.
I described him as the opposite of a national treasure.
I love that. If this description was long enough, I would be using that.
But it's where he basically takes everything we love and hold dear and completely decimates it until it is a formless mass.
What do you mean the story was them not knowing what to do? Okay, explain how that works. Explain what that even means.
Oh, by the way, we are starting. We're going to be the Jaded army here. We need to get to Andy Muschietti and get him to make a poster of the Flash that gives a Jaded approved. This film has no brain dead stupid in it. Or how would we put it? How would you put it?
Again, it wouldn't matter because 90% of the audience doesn't care if a movie.
You don't give grades, but you're like, it's kind of like Roger Ebert, you know, Ebert certified. You know,
no, because they do the thumbs up or the thumbs down.
Thumbs down, exactly. But you're like, it's not brain dead stupid.
Yeah, it's everything. Okay, there are a lot of. Okay, hold on. National disgrace. I agree with that. There are lots of movies that aren't a broken mess of brain dead stupid. There are a lot of movies that don't require stupid to be able to get the carry through. But guess what? The movies still suck. Like, it's not like, oh, because there was no loopholes, the movie was good. No, you can have a movie that has no loopholes, and it's still a garbage movie.
Okay.
This movie pulled off a light-hearted superhero movie, and it did it well without having to resort to that.
Okay, I'm going to give you a set of movies, right? And I want you to tell me in one sentence why they're brain dead stupid, okay?
Can't happen.
Ready? This is gonna be a gamut, all right?
There's no way.
And if they're Jaded certified, it's fine. You just say, "Oh, it's Jaded certified, no brain dead stupid." Okay.
Oh.
So we're gonna start with we'll start with a good one. Fight Club.
Fight Club. The Fight Club was a good movie. The ending was a cop-out. And the whole thing about them being two personalities, they shouldn't have used it as a surprise ending. Like, that was a cheap gimmick for me.
Okay, interesting. All right.
Still a good movie. Still a good movie. Still a great story. The ending was a cop out, and they shouldn't have used it as a gimmick. They should have incorporated it as part of the story, and that would have been a better
okay.
story.
All right. Next one. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Oh God, no! Garbage.
Okay, but what's the brain dead stupid?
No. I didn't like it. It's not that it's not a good movie. I didn't like it because the time travel element was used in a way that's not a sci-fi type thing, and it's like, I understand why the movie used it that way. That wasn't for me. It's not that it wasn't a good movie. I just wasn't a fan of how they incorporated the time travel element.
Okay.
It was a gimmick. It was a gimmick to tell the story. It wasn't actually part of the story. That's all.
Morbius.
Oh, Morbius is a better Batman movie than the Batman, because it's a better Batman. And that's all I'm ever going to say about that movie, other than the fact that it was a piece of shit movie. It was bad.
It was hilarious. Okay, all right.
But he was a better Batman.
All right. Schindler's List.
Never saw it. I had no interest.
Okay. All right.
If you want to go, the closest I got to Schindler's List is The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, and that one I liked. That was a good movie.
Okay. All right. Let's move on.
Little pretentious, and a little auteur.
Oh, but okay. I've got one. Deadpool.
The first one?
Yeah.
It was fine. For what it was supposed to be, it did a really good job, and I thought it was really well done.
All right. Let's see. Forrest Gump.
Hated that piece of shit movie. Hated it. Because it was all pure gimmick. I didn't even make it through. Stupid? No, it wasn't. In a way, yes. Because it was like, how do we forcefully inject very well-known, iconic moments in U.S. history and somehow force Forrest Gump to somehow be part of it? And it's like, whatever, please, it's bullshit. And like, he was able to, and like, it was, the movie shouldn't have been called Forrest Gump. The movie should have been called, what's the term I keep using? Plot armor up the ass. That's what that movie was. Plot armor up the ass. Because it was, yeah, well, because again, it's like, there's no way he should have been a success. It's pure luck. Everything about him, his success, was pure luck. Like, he's on a boat, and his is the only boat that survives. His boat in that storm, he should have died. He should have died because he has no idea what he's doing. He's got his crew member is in a wheelchair. He's not helping. How were they surviving the storm? Because he's holding on to a rope. Because the movie goes, we have no idea how we can make Forrest Gump actually survive this storm. Every other ship that has experienced captains and crew, they all crashed and died. But Forrest Gump, who has absolutely no idea what he's doing, so luck survives him. Not only that, because he's the only ship that remained, he's now the only person that can fish for shrimp. Nobody else can build a boat. How would he even know to actually build a fleet of boats? He's simple. It was just so forced.
He's simple. What do you mean?
He's simple.
He's simple.
He gets through the army. He gets through the army on a ping pong scholarship. What the hell are you talking about? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Please.
It was the Cold War. Like that was a big thing.
No, it was during Vietnam. During Vietnam, he's going
Cold
through.
War, you joker. What are you talking about?
It was the Vietnam War that he was going through. That movie takes place in the 60s.
And that was during the Cold War.
There was no Cold War. It was during Vietnam because he left Vietnam. The Cold War didn't take place until the 70s. Oh, please. It was not the Cold War.
Cold War. The Cold War means that they're not having an actual war.
I understand that. So then there's no reason for him to be in the army.
Vietnam was one of the proxy wars.
He's in the army because he knows how to play ping pong.
Next movie, okay? I'm going to choose an A24, one of the A24 classics.
Oh, they all suck. It's A24.
Uncut Gems.
That's the one with Pattinson, right?
No, that's
and his
the
brother.
That's the one before that. That's actually really good. But
which one was the one with Pattinson and his brother that dies in the beginning of the movie?
I can't remember, but that's a really good movie.
Hold on. Uncut Gems is the one with
Good Time.
Good Time. Uncut Gems is the one with the comedian.
I can't remember his name. Cole, tell us his name.
Cool.
Who's in it? In Uncut Gems.
The comedian that plays a golfer. What's his name?
Adam Sandler.
Uncut Gems is with Adam Sandler, right?
Yeah.
No, I didn't make it through that movie.
You just didn't make it through.
No, hold on. No, because I couldn't take Adam Sandler seriously as a serious actor. So I just couldn't get that out of my head. I can't. Good Time, beginning of the movie, pretentious nothing movie. It's a pretentious nothing movie.
Interesting. All right. We'll do two more. I'll do two more. Let's see. I'm looking for a popular one.
I'll take Cole's word. I will take Cole's word that Adam Sandler did a great job. I just can't get really mad. Huh?
Oh, he did. I'll do two popular ones. Across the Spider-Verse. Brain Dead Stupid.
Oh God, Brain Dead Stupid. It was a broken mess. It was nothing in that movie made any sense. It was like. Pardon?
One little bit. What bit didn't make sense?
What didn't make any sense? Okay. What did he call them? The events. What the term that he used? Canon events.
Canon events, yeah.
Canon events don't make any sense. Canon events don't make any sense. So let me see if I get this straight. According to this movie, a canon event is a captain close to a Spider-Man dying has to happen. And if you stop a captain close to the Spider-Man dying, you are breaking a canon event, correct?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Yeah. At the end of the movie, Spider-Gwen's father, Captain Stacy, retires from being a captain, which now means in Spider-Gwen's universe, that just broke a canon event because now a canon event won't be able to happen. So did Captain Stacy just break a canon event? Shouldn't that universe suddenly be glitching out?
Very good point. Very good
right?
point.
And if Miguel replaced the existing Spider-Man in the universe that he went to, and that's what caused that universe glitching out, then why the hell didn't Miles Morales' universe glitch out when he replaced the Peter Parker that died in the Spider-Man in his universe?
I think he could become captain again, couldn't he?
It doesn't matter. It's establishing that he retired. So the universe should have been glitching out.
So Bree Wood wanted me to ask you, and guys, if you want to ask Jaded about a Brain Dead Stupid to see if he thinks a movie is Brain Dead Stupid or not, please feel free. The Departed.
Horror movie, correct? Hold on.
Is the Scorsese, Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon?
Oh God, no! Anything with Leonardo DiCaprio, I don't care about. I couldn't care less. I don't like that actor. I can't even think of a movie of his that I've actually seen all the way through.
Really? What about the one with Tom Hanks? That one's pretty good. Catch Me If You Can.
No, again, I can't handle Leonardo DiCaprio. The only reason I could handle the Django was because he was near. It was already the movie was already in. I was already invested.
And the beating of blacks.
No, the storyline, because I liked it. Again, I saw the blaxploitation version of the Django, so I was curious to see how I forget the director's name. I'm drawing a blank. It's too early for the morning. The director of the Django.
Yeah. Okay. So guys,
I wanted to see his version.
Oh, we've got a new one, but he's not going to have seen it, Daniel Martin. Shutter
Hold on. I think I've seen that one. I need to see the movie poster.
It's another Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, is that? Oh, yeah. No, I did. Yeah, no.
It's another Leo DiCaprio. You're saying you keep giving Leo DiCaprio movies.
They're all Leo DiCaprio movies. Of course, I didn't watch it.
You haven't seen them.
Any movie that he stars in, if he's a secondary character. If he's a secondary character, I can handle it. When he's the main character, I can handle it.
Any movie that doesn't have Leonardo DiCaprio in it, that isn't an A24 movie, you can ask Jaded if it is Jaded certified, i.e., no brain dead stupid.
Oh, there's not enough people watching.
No brain dead stupid certificate.
Yeah, there's not enough people watching to give the suggestions.
Oh, there's actually quite a few. They love.
Oh, really? How many people are watching? Hold on.
It's not like a large amount of numbers. It's large. It's fine for me. So yeah, let us know.
Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna leave it at that though. I don't. Is there any other classic?
Cloud Atlas. That was the one. I think I saw Cloud Atlas. I saw Cloud Atlas.
Oh, Matrix. Matrix 1.
I didn't make it through. I saw the beginning of Cloud Atlas. I didn't make it all the way through. I didn't make it all the way through.
I didn't make it all the way through that movie.
Yeah, I couldn't make it all the way through.
That was boring.
Yeah,
just boring.
The first Matrix, absolutely loved. Absolutely loved.
Oh, really?
The second and third were a broken mess because the second movie contradicted the first movie, and the third movie contradicted the second movie. So yeah.
Primer.
Hold on. Let me see the movie poster.
I didn't like that one either. It's too. It's like a time travel movie, but it's like we're trying to be really super realistic, but it just.
Oh, that one. Yeah. I saw that one. It was okay. I don't remember having a problem with it.
Is it the one I'm thinking of?
I don't know. You look at the movie poster and you'll take.
Yeah, it is. It's the time travel movie. I heard really good things about it, but I just.
There was a comedy. There was a comedic sci-fi science fiction movie. Can't remember what it was called. Not Hot Tub Time Machine, but there was another one with all these British actors. That I liked. That was really good.
What other one did I just say? I said Pulp Fiction. Pulp
Fiction, I loved. The ending.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I actually saw it.
Most of these movies, I'm disappointed.
I actually saw that movie at the theater when it was released in Toronto Film Festival.
So it's really like you like things, you just don't like superhero movies. That's what it is.
I don't like badly done. I don't like badly done.
Superhero movie is badly done, according to you. Attack the Block. Some people are saying Nope.
I still need to finish that one. Attack the Block. Wait a minute. I think I know that movie.
And Silence. Those are the ones that they're going with. Silence, Attack the Block, and Nope.
Oh no, I had no interest in that movie. I saw the trailer and I saw what it was about, and I go, yeah, no interest.
Yeah, me neither. I'm just so fed up of like really long movies, like about like
Silence.
Silence. I've watched a lot recently, just like movies that are just overly long, and I really like. I don't mind a long movie if I'm like into the world and into what's happening. I really don't mind like how long.
Don't even know what that movie is. Didn't even know that movie existed.
And you've never seen Attack the Block?
Frequently asked questions about time travel. That was good. That was fun. That was good. No, it was frequent. Idiocracy was that other one where it was frequently asked questions about time travel. That was a good movie.
All right, guys,
Idiocracy was okay.
Guys, you have 1 minute left because then I have to go ask Jaded whatever film you want to ask about if he thinks it's brain dead stupid or not, or any question about the Flash. I'll give you like 5 minutes. Any question you want to ask him about the Flash, either. He's a missionary in Japan, and it's a rough.
Yeah, I saw the poster. I recognized it. I don't recognize it. It's just,
he says
Big Trouble in Little China. First of all, Big Trouble in Little China should be in the National Archives. I love that movie. Yeah. Absolutely love that movie.
If they should send that shit to like alien civilizations to show what humanity is about. Jack Burton is my fucking spirit animal, dude. He is
the one. As much as I love that movie, the one line that I always wait for when I see the movie is I forget the name of the bad guy, but the old guy that's in the wheelchair.
Mm.
He captures the two guys. I can't remember their names, and he sees his
bad guys in movies, Right.
And he sees his friends, and he goes, "This really pisses me off." I always love that line. I don't know why.
Yeah. He's just living his best life, Jack Burton, man. And I love the line where he just goes, he tells the chick, I can't remember, he tells the chick, "What's wrong with your face?" or something like that.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Okay. I went back to listen to everything on why Jaded enjoyed The Flash. Disagree with Ezra being good. He had some decent moments, but was garbage a lot of the way. Okay.
Because you don't like the character, that's the problem. Pretend Ezra Miller was doing that in an A24 movie, and you would be praising the hell out of him. Just pretend it's an A24 movie, and look at his performance, and look at what he did, and you would go, "Oh, he did great." Because if you like Pattinson's acting, then there's no reason you couldn't. Because if you think Pattinson, again, yes, Pattison is better than Ezra Miller acting.
Couldn't he turn that around on you and say? Couldn't he turn that around on you and say, pretend he was doing that in an A24 movie, and
I wouldn't have been able to see it. Okay, hold on. No, wait a minute.
The rest is subjective, such as humor, so I can't criticize it. The things in the film you don't look at much in films, though, just were terrible, though, and I think that's why you enjoyed it more. Sure, like the only thing I agree with you on is the special effects. Like, I think the special effects.
Oh, hated it. I couldn't even make it through that movie because it was totally changing the whole concept of the original story. Because I read the book. I read the book because I love Philip K. Dick. I read I think it was Philip K. Dick.
It is Philip K. Dick. Yeah,
Yeah,
do androids dream of electric sheep?
That's right. It was android sleep of do androids sleep of electric sheep?
Dream of
electric I dream of electric sheep. Thank you. I read the book. I love the original movie. This was like, let's do our own thing. And it's like, then don't call it Blade Runner 2049. Just call it its own movie.
Hey, what do you think of Pan's Labyrinth?
Pan's Labyrinth was a little... it's not that Pan's Labyrinth wasn't a good movie. I just thought it was a little overdone. It was too much pomp. But Brazil, I loved. I loved Brazil. That was great. That movie absolutely was.
What's the better multiverse movie? No Way Home, Doctor Strange 2, or The Flash?
The Flash. By far, The Flash.
Say it with your chest up, bro.
I don't have to. I say it out loud. It was The Flash.
I'll tell you what.
That dumbass spaghetti analogy was absolutely well thought out, and it worked. It was simple, and it allows you to do whatever the hell you want. Right. With No Way Home and Doctor Strange, they just kept making it up as they went along. It was like, we're going to do it this way because that's how we wanted it. With the MCU movies, the multiverse works however they want the movie to make it to work. And if it has to be different in each MCU movie, then they don't care. Why? Because the audience doesn't care.
He's right. There's no doubt about that. The explanation for the multiverse was much better in Flash than these two movies. My opinion, having watched it 3 times now, and watched it with my girlfriend who had no idea about the Ezra Miller stuff, had no idea about anything like the special effects. I didn't mention the special effects to her. I didn't mention anything to her. I just was like, yeah, let's go watch a Flash movie. And she loved it. She thought it was the best comic book movie she'd seen this year. And she loved the kind of emotion. She loved the emotion out of it. I'm just saying what she thought. I'm not saying like
the emotion in this. Like if you guys love the emotional bullshit in the Spider-Verse multiverse, then don't tell me you wouldn't have liked it in this movie. Okay,
yeah, no, it was better in this movie.
If you were praising Spider-Man across the multiverse for the relationship with their mom, if you were praising No Way Home for the relationship between Peter Parker and Aunt May, then you have no excuse to not love it in this movie. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. I have to concur with you there. Nonetheless, I would say, just for me, the special effects, and this is harsh for me to say, the special effects disqualify The Flash from being on the same level as and the ending. Oh, the ending, like the ending for me, it hurt the movie more the first time I saw it because I was so dude, you don't understand. I'm telling you, I was having an erotic experience. It was an out-of-body experience for 2 2/3 of this movie, and then it just fucking ended.
Yeah,
it wasn't like,
that was everything. It just ended because it's like he's not back.
It just ended with these bad CGI clips of Christopher Reeve and all of these guys, and I was just like, what the?
And Nicolas Cage is Superman. Nicolas Cage is Superman,
and that was epic as shit. But it was the CGI, man. I was like, what?
I know, but that? The problem.
Here's the thing. So that's why it just disqualifies, and it's hard for me to say this, but I think, therefore, Doctor Strange 2, No Way Home, and even Across the Spider-Verse, just as complete movies, even though I don't think the story, I think the story and the humor is somewhat more compelling in this. I think the humor's funnier than in Doctor Strange 2. I think the gags are funnier. I think the story and the reason for the multiverse is better, but just on that some fundamental levels, no fucking compelling villain, no, at least in No Way Home, No Way Home and Doctor Strange 2 and Across the Spider-Verse, they had like convincing antagonists. You know, yeah.
As long as you ignored all the brain dead.
It's hard for me to say. As long as you will watch this movie more than those movies.
Here's the thing about No Way Home. As long as you ignore all the brain dead stupid, it's a fine movie.
No, exactly. That's the problem.
That's all it is.
It's a perfectly mediocre movie that doesn't try anything new or different and doesn't, you know, rattle the cages too much. But it does it perfectly, you know, like in a perfect mediocrity. Like you can't really like go, oh, it's not entertaining. It's mildly entertaining. You can't go that the CGI or special effects are bad. The special effects are good, nothing incredible. You can't say the action is bad. The action's fine. It's, you know, it's pleasant enough. You can just sit through that movie without getting taken out of the movie, basically.
Right.
Whereas the Flash movie, there were frequent times where I was literally taken out of the movie by one aspect of, you know, whether it's the special effects or another flaw in the movie. I was taken out of it, and that's where I have to give those movies the edge, unfortunately.
No, that's fine. See,
and Across the Spider-Verse, I mean, I think that was, for the most part, it was masterfully done. My jaw was on the floor in some of those fucking scenes when he steps into a Lego world. What the fuck? No, I'm sorry. I was like, what the fuck am I watching? I'm loving this. And then the Venom thing.
It was better than okay, I will give it this. The fact that it was a Lego universe was a lot more creative and better thought out than a universe that was just, you know, paint.
Yeah, no, Doctor Strange should be disqualified. It's not a multiverse movie. It's just an enjoyable Doctor Strange adventure. It's not a multiverse movie at all. To me, I don't know. It was fine. Like I liked it as if it was called Doctor Strange and the Book of Ashanti.
Right.
It would have been a good Doctor Strange sequel. That's how I feel about Doctor Strange.
The reason you like No Way Home is because every time William Dafoe was on screen, you got a chubby. Okay, that's the only reason. Okay, because if William Dafoe wasn't in No Way Home, you would have trashed that movie.
It wasn't a better acted film. I don't know what you're talking. Who was better acting? The fucking
the actor. Hold on.
Andrew Garfield and
the actor who played Dr. Octopus. Yeah, the actor who played Dr. Octopus was very good. He was
very good. He weren't Keaton good. He weren't as good as Keaton in
No, I understand that, but I'm saying Cole loves William Dafoe, so he's going to give it a pass.
William Dafoe weren't Keaton good in this movie, bro. Let's keep it a fucking buck. William Dafoe and what's his name were not as good as fucking Keaton in this movie. They were good in the sense of at least they got the assignment that, oh, we've got to play the characters we were in the first movie. But they weren't, none of them, zero, absolutely zero fucking Cole were as good as Michael Keaton in this movie. Stop with the fucking bullshit, bro. And as for Ezra Miller, dude, whether you like the character or not, the guy performed off himself seamlessly. You can't tell me you didn't think those were two separate fucking entities throughout the movie. Don't stop with the bullshit, dude.
Oh, you're just okay. I think the word is capping. You're just capping, Cole. You're just capping. Keaton was on vacation in The Flash,
and McGuire wasn't.
He dies in that movie. He sacrifices himself. Another cool little thing that I liked about the movie. Oh, I forget the Kryptonian he fights. There was Nod and the girl, and the general, and the big hulking guy.
Okay, if you say that the guys from No Way Home were better than General Zod, yeah, I'll give you that. But anyway, sorry. What were you saying?
There was General. There's General Zod. There's his girl. There's the girl and the guy, that other Kryptonians that the Kryptonian that Superman fights and throws into the train.
Oh, the Hulk. He was just the big one. Just call him the big one, whatever.
Yeah, the big one. You have Batman going. You have Batman going mano a mano against the big Kryptonian, and I'm going, dude, you are so out of your league. But then he takes the bomb, puts it on the back of his head, and it's like he sacrificed getting beaten up to put the bomb on his head. The bomb goes off, the Kryptonian falls, and I'm going, what? He's dead? That killed him? That couldn't have possibly killed him. And then what happens? 2 minutes later, he gets back up again. I go, oh, that was brilliant. You don't actually have Batman take out a Kryptonian with just a bomb. Whereas if it was any other comic book movie, guess what? If it was any of the other Batman movies, other than maybe the Batman, that Batman would have been able to have taken out a Kryptonian with a bomb to his head.
Daniel is Onzo asked for the thing? Because I've got to go soon, but like if he wants it, yeah, of course he can have it.
Well, if Onzo wants me to have him, if Onzo wants to do a stream with me, that's fine.
And Onzo, yeah, you can do a stream with Jaded as well. So, dude, that's absolutely correct. I was thinking the same thing. I loved the scene, by the way. I was just like, that's what I was telling you about. I was like coming in my fucking pants, dude, during most of this movie. When he did that, I was like, oh, that's so fucking good. I was sweating and shit. And it was the first time I watched the movie. That was straight gangster. Dude was a straight gangster in this movie, dude. The stuff he did in Russia with the fucking things where he does the little Michael Keaton kick at the end.
They had the warehouse.
He did the Michael Keaton kick at the end. You didn't notice that?
Yeah, I did. Because again, because of the restriction of the bat suit, he could only do front kicks. He couldn't do anything else, and so they had that.
The Flash has to tear the neck off.
Has to tear the neck off. Yeah, again, these were all references that if you saw the movie, you understood what was going on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Anzo's about to set us on fire. Apparently, I've sent him the link. He wants to say something.
Oh, that's fine.
Anzo always has to come on late. Why didn't you just message me, dude?
Probably didn't know you were doing a stream because you just kind of did it out of nowhere. So.
Yeah.
Hey, Anzo.
What is up? First off, Jaded, I cannot believe that you were sitting here saying that you.
I can't believe
you went out.
You went out. So while he's out? So what we've learned today is that Jaded Fanboy enjoys the Flash because of the humor, time travel.
Give me actual issues. Here's the thing, Cole. You actually have to give me actual issues. You haven't done that yet.
He's pointed out some good points, Jaded. But anyway, go on.
So.
Oh, hey,
hold on, Jaded, and I was just listening to what you just said, where you're talking about Batman and the Kryptonian. A bomb going off on a Kryptonian's head wouldn't even have knocked him out.
I agree.
What are you talking about here?
No, I agree.
No, wait a second. They only just got to Earth. So they were in their whole metal suit.
They were still in the suit.
The sun hadn't absorbed on them completely yet, so they weren't like
he was still in the suit. Remember, because he was in the suit. If he wasn't in the suit, because because in the Batman and the Superman movie, when General Zod ends up losing the mask and he starts breathing, right? All of a sudden he takes it off, and then all of a sudden he has the sun.
All of the powers. That's completely untrue.
No, it isn't, because they could still fly. They could still fly. They could still
power level. They didn't have the same again because the suit was restricting them. The suit was still.
I understand that, but a bomb would not have knocked.
I agree.
How do you know that? Where do you draw the line on this? How would a bomb?
Because they're fucking Kryptonians. The bullets weren't bothering them. So why would a bomb? They were getting shot left and right.
Dude, she gets knocked out by a fucking bomb in Man of Steel.
We just don't know how powerful.
Which shouldn't have happened either. They were lifting trains. They were shooting trains at each other.
No.
Shot with
you
bullets.
don't bring comic book knowledge into this. Bring what it says in the actual films.
I am going with the actual film.
Because again,
in the film Man of Steel, she gets blown the fuck up and faints because she's in that fucking suit.
Bro,
So
they are
Michael Keaton's strapping a Batman bomb, not a normal
big
bomb,
fucking
a
dude
Batman bomb onto his
train.
fucking head. He was smart.
Big dude
it was smart.
Picks up a train and throws it at Superman. What are we talking about here?
That's not the point.
And he was still in the suit. So if that's the case, if you can still do those kind of powers, if you can still pick up a train and throw it, then there's no way bullets or a fucking train, a bomb would hit him.
Because again, he also
just got off the fucking ship. Do you understand that?
Why is it there?
Atmosphere for like 30 minutes.
So why
How
is
do you
it
think
that
they
they're able?
fucking
Why
Supergirl?
is it they're able to fucking grab a train and pick it up and throw it and do all the things they were doing?
Maybe he wasn't able to do that at that point.
They did. Maybe. What are you talking about? They did it in
That was in Man of Steel.
Yes,
this is a different timeline.
Okay, but
he had just got off the ship.
But you are the one that compared it to Man of Steel. You did that.
So I said that they are weaker in those suits. They still get a little bit of strength, but they are weaker in the suits.
So
they might get enough strength to even throw a fucking train.
But yet they don't have enough.
What I'm saying is,
bomb from blowing up on their head, right?
At that point, that particular Kryptonian clearly had only just got into the sunlight. They had been with the fucking Kryptonian atmospherics or whatever stupid shit Zack Snyder made up. They had just got out of those Kryptonian atmospherics, so they were not as strong, anywhere near as strong, even as the Man of Steel fucking.
So what? They were still strong. They were still able to get shot with bullets and have them not affect him, right? But yet a bomb is gonna blow up in the head and knock him. All
right. So
what are we talking about
bullshit.
Here?
Let's say comic book bullshit, right?
What are we talking about here?
Come on, comic book bullshit.
You're Captain.
And if Peter Parker beating Doctor Strange through mathematics.
And if you think
right?
And if you think
comic book bullshit, yes or no?
Michael Keaton was better than William Dafoe, you were smoking crack.
Yes or no? Comic book bullshit.
No.
Oh, so Peter Parker can beat fucking Doctor Strange from mathematics.
He didn't really beat him. He just held him there.
Oh my fucking god! So did Michael Keaton beat the fucking Kryptonian, or did the Kryptonian get up?
Yes, he beat him.
Oh, he beat the Kryptonian, but Peter Parker didn't beat Doctor Strange by fucking locking him up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes.
You are so full of fucking bullshit. It's
How?
The bias is dripping off you, bro.
You're biased, bro. You said Michael Keaton was better than William Dafoe. Are you?
Yeah, he straight was.
No, he was not.
He was better than.
He was not.
He was better than any of the Spider-Man cameos in that fucking
not.
No Way Home.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
He was.
What's his name? Wasn't even acting as Spider-Man. What's his name?
Neither was fucking Michael Keaton. He was phoning it in. You want to get nuts? You want to get nuts?
That's the only line that
let's get nuts.
That's the only line. That was the only line, bro, that didn't drop properly. Everything else he did dropped fucking hard. You are fucking bullshit.
It didn't drop hard.
It did. You don't want to like the movie. Let's just fucking get like at the real truth of it. You don't want to like the movie.
Of course I did. Fine. I went into this movie thinking it was gonna be fire, but the first half of the movie is fucking boring. Ezra Miller as the young kid was annoying and fucking trash. It was garbage. 100% garbage.
So the beginning of I'm gonna just keep the same energy. Beginning of No Way Home, complete rubbish. Until fucking Andrew and what's his name show up. It's complete garbage.
Here's the difference.
It's a complete waste of time. So boring. Going through the emotional development of a fucking character is boring to you.
Hold on.
We should have just had action scenes the whole way through. Let's just have action the whole way through. What's the difference?
I keep the same energy regardless of whether it's Marvel or DC. You do not. You were capping for this movie because it's
I am not capping for this movie. I really enjoyed it up until the third act.
Fucking hated it.
Dude, Jaded, what did I say about this movie?
You fucking complain about the fucking emotional shit. Hold on. You complain about the emotional shit in fucking Spider-Verse, but this shit doesn't work, but yet it's so amazing. Oh my god.
Okay, let me tell you the difference. Should I tell you the difference?
The 5 minutes that he had with his mother was so amazing.
Onzo, can I tell you the difference? I knew what was going on in The Flash. I did not know what the story of Across the Spider-Verse actually was until an hour and a half into the fucking movie.
That's because you weren't
I
paying
was just
attention.
watching shit. I was not shit. Sorry, I don't mean the actual shit. I just mean watching stuff on the screen. Some of it was really, really fun, and I enjoyed it. Other stuff, I was just like, this is taking really long. There's really elongated chase scenes and all of that, and I wanted to know the why of this movie. What was actually happening? What was the problem of this movie? In the Flash movie, that's established very, very early on, so I can follow and know, okay, he's trying to save his mom, he's fucked up the world, and it goes from there. In the Across the Spider-Verse, you do not get that penny drop. It would be as if you didn't find out in the Flash movie until an hour and a half into the movie he was trying to save his mom. That's the equivalent. And then just watching the Flash doing weird, crazy stuff, like running around, doing
which he did do crazy stuff through the whole first of the movie,
and that's why you're trying to say you're trying to all. You're trying to and the humor in fucking the Across the Spider-Verse was super hilarious when the bread fell out of the hole, right? That was super fucking hilarious. Dude, keep the energy the fucking same yourself.
That was
Across
funny.
the Spider-Verse is a great movie. I really, really like it. I was just singing its praises just a moment ago. But the problem I had with it, as I told you, it wasn't about the quality of the movie or anything like that. I just didn't know what was happening. And that's why I found.
But that's how the movie was.
That's why I found
the movie was supposed to do.
I know, and that's why I said on the second viewing it was more enjoyable, didn't I?
Because, but I'm trying to explain to you, that's what the movie is supposed to do, right? It's supposed to be build up to what the fucking plot is, and that's exactly what it did.
It didn't unfold like a mystery movie. When you have a mystery movie, the mystery should be at the center of that movie, so that you're always reminded there's a mystery that needs to be solved. There's a mystery. It wasn't establishing as if like Miles Morales is somehow important or significant.
Was very sloppily made. Very.
I don't think it was.
First off, the shit with Irish, the shit with Irish was trash. All that stuff with Iris was trash, was garbage. Right. Okay. And then you get like 5 fucking minutes of him talking to his mom at the end. And it's like, oh my God, that scene was so emotional. It brought me to tears. No, it put my ass to sleep. I practically fell asleep in this fucking movie. Okay. So, you know, the scene where they first jump out the plane and then he picks up Flash don't have his powers and he puts his leg on him.
Yeah.
The crowd laughing woke me up at that scene.
Yeah, because
the crowd started laughing, and I woke up, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And I was like, "Oh, what the hell?"
Yeah, because they were having fun.
It was fucking boring.
Yeah, so you fell asleep. That's the whole problem. You fell asleep.
Boring.
That's why the movie was boring. You fell asleep, so you can't even say if it was boring or not.
And then
you're so full of shit, dude.
The final act, that fight scene, was just absolute ass.
And what did I say about the final act?
I wasn't talking about what you said. I'm telling you what I think it is. I don't care if you said so. I'm saying it was ass. Oh my God, it was ass. I can't, and I'm sitting here and I'm saying, wait a minute, Jaded liked this fucking movie? What crack is he on?
Oh no, you said that. Oh, hold on. Did you say that when I said I liked the Aquaman movie too?
The Aquaman movie was okay. I can understand that. I didn't hate the Aquaman movie, but this one?
Aquaman movie was way worse than this. It was way worse. And by the way, I have this over Shazam Fury of the Gods now after watching it a third time.
I will say that. I will say this, Anzo, in for my defense of liking this movie, because I was just thinking about it. Because so many movies, so many superhero movies, and even non-superhero movies rely on it being a broken mess of brain dead stupid. Because this movie didn't have that, by default, I was going to end up liking it. Now, let's say this Flash movie, let's say this particular Flash movie came out in 2010 or 2012. I would have gone. No, I don't think this was a good movie.
You know what? I'm glad you're here, Jaded, because we talked about.
I'm glad you listened to him.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here because when we did the Spider-Verse stuff, right? You talked about, and you said, "Oh, the movie picks what canon events or this and that." Remember that? Same thing with this movie, because as Nerdman says, when you go in the past, he's talking real life shit. It causes ripples, right? It ripples that change the past and the future. That's what Nerdman says.
In Spider-Verse or in the Flash?
Yeah.
In the Flash.
In the Flash.
In the Flash, it creates the spaghetti event, not ripples.
Right. Well, Nerdman said ripples, right? Which means it changes the past and the future, right? But this movie, but this movie picked what it decided to change in the past, right? Because I said if it changes things in the past, then it should have changed the fact that the mom actually went to the store to get the fucking soup and died, whatever. So that could have been changed. But Nerdman's like, no, that's not it. So they chose to make that like I guess you could say, let's example a canon event.
But hold on. But the thing is though, Anzo, the universe where because the movie showed that Barry switched the cans from the bottom, because remember early in the movie when they showed the film clip, he goes, "Unfortunately, your eyes were pointing down, Dad, so we can't use it to prove that you were at the store." At the end of the movie, when he thought he went back to his original universe, the film clip showed that Barry had switched the cans of tomato sauce so that it was on the top shelf, right? And that made his father look up, which is why the camera was able to see him.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that part, though.
That's not the Prime universe, because
but that's not what I'm talking about, though.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about with the mom.
Okay.
I'm talking about the mom. You see, like, okay, so when you watch like Back to the Future, right? You go back in time. There's that event. You go back in time. Nothing before that changes, right? So Marty McFly goes right. Nothing before that changes. But what Nerdman is saying that because he went back in time, he caused ripples, or what you want to call
that's not how it works, Nerdman. That's not how it works.
That wasn't what I was exactly saying, but like,
yes, it is what you said.
I said I tried to simplify it and say it's like a pond, like you step in a pond and
it causes ripple events
because time isn't linear. It's
not the way in the Flash movie. In the Flash,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, in the Flash movie, there is linear. It's just that they're all over the place. Now some are close. Because again, if you get two pieces of spaghetti that are, beside each other, but then at the end it kind of just veers off a little bit, right? It's like 99. Like these two universes are 99% the same. The only difference is Eric Stoltz plays Marty McFly instead of Michael J. Fox. But then you have the one going like this, where it's roughly the same, except Batman, Bruce Wayne no longer becomes Batman. Kal-El gets captured by General Zod. So again, it's not that it's ripples. And again, I liked it. I thought it was I liked that idea.
Right, but it doesn't work like ripples. It doesn't work like ripples. I think what you're referring to with me is I said that actually they were looking at time travel theories in this movie based on theoretical physics that actually, if you look at it, and I'm not trying to I think it explains it enough in the movie that you can follow it, but I'm not trying to say, oh, they did it perfectly or something like that. I'm just saying that this idea that you can retroactively change the past by time traveling even into the future is something that works in terms of current quantum theory, right? So there's theories about, by actually moving into the past. You'll actually shift things in more than just the future of that present. You would shift things in the past of that present as well.
Because the movie sets up pretty much that there are canon events, right? Because at the end of
the movie, I will attribute that was a mistake of the movie.
Right, because at the end of the movie, he says, "Oh, this is one of those events you can't change." So basically, set up canon events, right? But shouldn't the canon event have been his mom dying?
Well, no. The movie's establishing that General Zod destroying the planet was the canon event.
But I think, the canon event in that,
wait a minute.
It's not a canon event in the multiverse, though. It's a canon event only in that universe. In that
because the thing is,
universe, General Zod will always kill what's her name, Kara.
Well, it's not that.
And
it's
that
not
means,
the
the thing with that means that universe will always die, because General Zod will always take over and turn it into Krypton, and then his mom
General Zod will always be
able
to get what's her name? I forget Supergirl's Kara. He will always get to kill Kara. Because whether Michael Keaton or whether the Flash were in that, like, Barry ends up going into that universe. Even if he wasn't there, General Zod was still going to terraform Earth, no matter what. And that's what the movie was trying to establish. Even though that you've entered this universe, even though you are, the thing with Spider-Man Into the Multiverse, how the spider was from Universe 47, remember?
Mm-hmm.
How the spider came from here. This movie is going, even if you take an outside influence, it doesn't change anything. General Zod is still going to win. I didn't like it. I thought that was not a good idea, but they were forced to do that, because otherwise, how were you going to get the black costumed Flash to be able to get the ending? That I will call out.
And I'm going to say this, that Flash, right? If you watch the Flash TV show.
Which one? The
new TV show.
Okay.
The TV show with Garrett Gustin, right?
Okay.
Season 2, they did I think it was season 2 or season 3. They did what's that? What was his name? Savitar. They did Savitar, which Savitar was a Barry remnant.
What is that? I never watched the show.
It's the exact so
what's a remnant?
Okay, so in the Flash TV show, Barry can run so fast that he makes like a clone of himself, basically, right? So one of those clones ends up dying and then coming back in the future as Savitar, which was a bear. It's the exact same thing they did in this movie. They just did it better in the Flash show.
Okay,
sure.
They did it better in the Flash show. Savitar was basically young Barry.
And they did Spider-Man No Way Home better in the cartoon.
Whatever, let him finish, nerd man.
True. No, because I love the way he tries to use this fucking thing.
I don't care. I want to hear
in the 90s cartoon.
I can't challenge him. I can't challenge him because I never saw the plot.
All I'm saying is that they copied that show when they should have had Reverse Flash.
No Way Home is trash.
Hold on, wait a minute. They copied that show when they should have what?
They should have used Reverse Flash.
Oh, no, I agree. I would have liked to have seen Reverse Flash. I'm not going to challenge that. Absolutely. Like, I was going, how is that mutant? Because in my head, when you first see that black costumed Flash, right? I'm going, is that like this weird version of Reverse Flash? Like, is that who he's supposed to be? Like, that threw me off.
Yeah, apparently Andy Muschietti has said that it is Reverse Flash that kills his mom. So in the follow-up movie, that was what it was going to.
And he also said that the CGI was bad on purpose. Do you
believe that? I'm not. My joke was. Yeah, I don't. Again, for me, the special effects isn't that. You have to understand. I've watched movies where the special effects budget is less than the catering of the movie. So I can get past the special effects.
Yeah, you can, but yet you complain about it in almost all the other MCU.
No, I don't complain about special effects.
He never complains about special effects.
I'll have to go back.
He never does. He doesn't care about visuals.
Hanzo,
no, I will attest to this. I will attest to this.
Of course, you're gonna test it at.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't care about scores, like musical scores.
Again, I don't. The same thing with scores. It just goes over my head. Scores just go over my head.
So
I don't care about that, and I've said that either.
And it's a better movie than No Way Home and Across the Spider-Verse.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's fine.
It's not even close.
Jaded approved. And it's Jaded approved.
And the box office shows you that it's not.
No brain dead.
Okay,
the box office shows you that it's not.
The audience, the
audience don't get it. It's ahead of its time, like the Flash.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, Anzo, I don't want. Hey, Anzo, I don't want you to come away from this conversation thinking that I said any of the things that he said. Okay. And just remember, separate what he said to what I said. Like I said,
I did like that one line that he says right at the end where he goes like, "You're my hero," just before he's about to kill him, which would have been a better line for the Reverse Flash, but yeah.
It was hot fucking doo-doo, bro. You should check out Rob Storm's video on it because he's on point when he talks about that. 100%.
Nothing. He ain't on point.
100%.
This movie was fantastic all the way through up until the last bit. The only problem it had, as I said, that kept taking me out of the movie was the VFX. Anybody talking about Ezra Miller's performance being trash? Keep it the same fucking energy. It was not weak. It was a great performance.
It was weak.
And also, let me put it this way. Your boys,
they put a fucking baby in the microwave. What are we talking about here, bro? They put a baby in the microwave, and I forgot about to fucking talk about that part. They put a baby in the fucking microwave and thought that was gonna be good. And then when he gets down, he gets all the babies, it goes ding, and he remembers about the baby. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
That was ridiculous.
The fact that it dinged was like,
absolutely.
Again, I'm not saying that this movie was perfect. I'm just saying it didn't have. It wasn't a go-to message.
You know how much? Because I actually personally, I really like that scene. I think the VFX let it down a little bit, but I really loved that scene of Flash because that's what Flash does in the comics. He does some weird shit where he'll save babies or whatever like that, like in a crazy way. But the fact that he put him in the fucking microwave, right? And then I'm like, the first thing you're gonna do when you get down is you're gonna take the baby out the microwave. That's the first fucking thing. That's the only way you can legitimize this scene or that part of the scene is if he immediately takes the baby out of the microwave. But no, he waits there, lets the baby be suffocating, I presume, from fucking oxygen deprivation, and only remembers when the fucking thing dings, which means he left the fucking microwave on. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So you're trying to tell me Flash microwaves baby?
Yeah, I'm not saying that this movie didn't have so fucking stupid. It's just that it wasn't as much.
It was little parts like that really like pissed me off because I was like, you just did a fucking spectacular sequence there. Let down by CGI, let down by the fact you didn't make the babies look real when they were like flying down or whatever. But it was a fucking spectacular. It was so comic booky. It was really cool.
And I've said the way, like when it starts off when he's running and the way it looks, right, when the screen stretches out and then he starts to take off, I said that shit looked fire. But then when he gets into the fucking Speed Force, I did not like how the way they showed like the future and how it. I did not like that.
No. All of that Rolodex pictures stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
it was
I could
dumb.
deal with it at first, but I was just like,
they didn't know what they didn't know how to do it, so that was the best they could come up with.
I do like the story. The story was the driving force. I love the like Back to the Future time travel elements, and the fact is, Jaded's right. They did do that well. They, it was a clean way of explaining like this multiverse and time travel all at the same time. So,
yeah.
I just don't understand how you were bored. Like, what happens? Remind me what happens in the beginning of No Way Home, because I can't remember, right? But I'm pretty sure No Way Home is. How long is it before Andrew and what's his name turn up?
Yeah, but you see, here's the thing. But here's the thing. Hold on. But here's the thing. I said this when I was watching the movie, right? Because even when you're watching it, when we're first watching it, I still wasn't 100% sure Andrew and Toby were going to be in it. But even before they show up, I was like, yo, even if they don't show up, this movie is fire. This movie started off fucking great, right?
What?
And Doc Octopus was better acting. Well, the CG, and I'll say this again, the deep fake CGI when he first shows up on the bridge is fucking horrible. I don't like the way his face looks at all. I've said it many times. But
did you just say it was fire?
Yes, Dr. Ock was better than anybody in the Flash.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, he was.
He just wasn't.
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. He just wasn't.
Yes,
he wasn't better than even Ezra Miller.
So was William Dafoe.
He wasn't even better than Ezra Miller, let alone Michael Keaton.
The thing with William Dafoe is a little different, though. I will agree with I'm sorry, I forget the name of the actor of Dr. Octopus. But the thing with William Dafoe is that this was an issue that people had even with the first Superman movie, the first Spider-Man movie that he was in, is that he was overacting. He was chewing the scenery a lot. And that was intentional because that was his character. But people acknowledge that he was chewing the scenery. He was overacting. He was going above it. He was overacting. But the potential was that was the character. So that's why he did that. Plus, it was also William Dafoe. So we let it ride. He was doing the exact same thing in No Way Home.
Which was good.
Again, I didn't like the over-the-top acting of the character. So
no, that was good.
But I think
they gave them shit to do. That was the problem. They gave them shit. Dr. Ock was wasted in that movie. So was he didn't have shit to do. And they had to forcefully take out Doctor Strange because they knew he'd be able to resolve this situation real quick, bro. So they had to come up with some weird reason for Doctor Strange to be out of the movie. And you know it. And you know it. They don't have anything like that in the Flash.
So William Dafoe, I think, toned it down a lot from Spider-Man.
Oh, you think so?
Okay. He's ignoring my point. Look how he ignores my
point. I'm not listening. Because I was trying to get my fucking point out and you cut me off.
Yeah.
Before I get my point out.
This is what
but you know what? I'm gonna
throw it down.
I would have to agree. I would have to agree because I do like the actor that played Dr. Octopus. I would say he was better than anybody in like his acting and his character was better. Again, I loved Michael Keaton, right? He was fine. But I would have to say that Dr. Octopus is the actor.
Michael Keaton was the best part of this movie.
Wait. He does not have a scene like where fucking Michael Keaton basically.
Again, that's a scene.
Wait a second, Jaded. You said don't interrupt me now. He does not have a scene like where Michael Keaton basically says to Ezra Miller, Flash, like, oh, I was trying to deal with my parents by putting on a suit or whatever, but you actually did it. That whole scene, I'm just talking about the ending of it. But that whole scene where he's talking to Michael Keaton about like the parallels between him and the Flash is better acting and better. It's just a better scene than anything Doc Ock has in that movie. It's more emotional, it's well done, and the fact is, as we said before, it picks up straight off as if he had never stopped acting as Batman. He knew exactly every movement, even the little shuffle that he used to do as Bruce Wayne. He knew every single movement he would do as Bruce Wayne from those 89 movies, and he did it in this movie seamlessly. You're wrong. You're just fucking plain wrong.
No, we're not. You're wrong.
He's better than everyone.
No, you're wrong. You're talking about
the best
one
thing about
scene.
the Spider-Man movies, and he's the best thing about the Batman movies in MCU. What? He's the best thing about the Spider-Man movies in the MCU was Michael Keaton. The best thing about the Batman.
Vulture?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. He was the best thing. He was the best thing. He was.
I think he was better as Vulture than he was as Batman in this movie.
Really? You actually like him better as Vulture?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
An MCU black-hearted. Let's go back to the point I was making earlier. You piece of shit. Let's go back to this.
You ain't making no points though.
Okay, Doctor Strange was forcefully taken out of the No Way Home movie, even though I accepted it and I was like, yeah, I kind of enjoy it. But he was forcefully taken out of that movie because he would have been able to resolve every single issue with Doc Ock and fucking Green Goblin and all of those shitty Spider-Man fucking villains that can't do shit to any of the Avengers, really. Yeah, so if Doctor Strange was still in that movie, and there were other Avengers in that movie who could have taken those cats out real easily, if they didn't take him out of that movie, the movie would have ended straight away, right?
But you see, here's the thing. But here's the thing. They had to take him out because the way he was trying to do it was he was like, fuck it, let him die. That's why. And Spider-Man is not like that. You understand? Spider-Man was like, no. I'm not. There was a reason why. It's not just because.
Okay, so why would Doctor Strange all of a sudden just become like, oh, I'm just gonna let them die? And why is Peter Parker
because the
really
multiverse was more
about
important.
Them dying anyway?
Because the multiverse. Because that's what Peter is. That's who Peter is.
How does he know they're gonna die?
Because they say it.
But
there's a scene in the movie where they're talking about it, and fucking Sandman says, "Oh, you died," and then Jamie Foxx was like, "I was about to kill Spider-Man," and he's
okay,
like, "Oh,
right,
I died."
And so then he knew died, they were going to die. Some of them didn't die, by the way. Sandman didn't die,
but Sandman never said he did, though.
So why wouldn't you just send Sandman back to his universe?
Lizard died.
Lizard died, yeah, sure. But who else?
Lizard died.
William Dafoe
died. William Dafoe died.
Electro don't die.
Electro dies. So that's
Electro does not die.
Yes, he does.
No, he does not. Electro don't die in the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I swear he does. All right.
Yes, he does. Spider-Man overloads him and he blows up.
Certainly, the Sandman doesn't. So why don't they send him back to his universe?
But
and then secondly, let me just add this: just because they were going to die prior doesn't mean now they have the foreknowledge that they are going to fucking die. That the same fucking thing's going to occur.
Yes, so they were, because he was going to send them back at the exact same moment they left, which was right before they died. What are we talking about, Birdman?
How do you know? How could they know it was right before they died? How could they possibly know that?
Because they explain it in the movie.
That's fucking bullshit. How can you know that? So they knew the future.
Who?
The fucking villains. They knew the future.
It's not about knowing the future.
How the fuck can they know that they were?
Wait a minute. I can clear this up. You have to understand that Sandman was in the same universe as Doc Ock and the Goblin. What happened is they took the spell or whatever, the screw up of the spell, took them all at different timelines. So first Green Goblin dies. Then Doc Ock dies, and then we have Spider-Man 3 where Sandman exists. So in that universe, Sandman already knows that Doc Ock dies and knows that Green Goblin dies. He tells that to, I believe he tells it to Peter Parker, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that's how Peter Parker knows. I can't remember if he tells Doctor Strange or if he tells Peter Parker, but
he tells them all.
He tells them all.
Yeah,
that's how they know that Doc Ock and
Green Goblin
died.
Right, and Green Goblin, Doc Ock and and Electro, they actually say that they were about to beat Spider-Man and they died. So they realized
Hold on.
They were about to beat Spider-Man.
The problem was with Electro and the Lizard is because nobody that was there would have known that Electro was going to die, and nobody would have known that the Lizard was going to die.
Right, but no, hold on.
I'm defending you.
Hold on. Go ahead.
What the movie was doing was going, since that's how it worked for those two characters, since that's how it was for Green Goblin and Dr. Octopus, then the movie's going, no, that's how it worked.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop. Stop. Don't say exactly, because that's wrong. Electro actually says in the movie that shut up, let me finish. He actually says in the movie that I was absorbing powers and I was about to kill Spider-Man, and then he's like, oh wait, no, I died. And then even Dr. Ock says, I had to hold on.
He have died.
Dr. Ock says, I had the power in my hand and I was about to do this. And then he says,
no, they all say it goes black because they were taken before they died.
No, they
were taken before they died.
No, they couldn't have known they died because they kept saying, I had him in my hands. Dr. Octopus goes, I had him in my grips, and then all of a sudden, I've been teleported to another part of New York.
That's not what he says. He says he died.
No, he doesn't say he died. None of them know because they were all shocked. They were all shocked when the information
was. I watched the movie 1,000 times. Hold on.
I don't doubt you.
I'm gonna bring up the scene. All right.
No problem.
I'm gonna bring up the scene.
Get out here. What do you mean?
He says it was before they died because it won't make any sense to bring them when they died because then they would show up dead.
That's what I'm saying. It was right before they died, but they knew that the reason why they didn't kill Spider-Man or at that moment is that they died. That's what
because they don't. No, because that would mean that they would have had to have known what was going to happen in 1 minute. Because when Dr. Octopus was taken, he wasn't taken while he was in the water. He wasn't taken because in Spider-Man 2, Doc Ock dies because he sacrifices himself. And that's after Spider-Man talks to him and changes his mind and takes out the thing. That's literally like almost a half an hour away from when he was taken from Spider-Man 2.
Thank you for coming on late and getting me in trouble, by the way. Thank you for coming in late and getting me in trouble. I'm just going to tell you that. I have to go. I'm going to leave the stream going for you guys, okay? I'm going to go, all right?
You're leaving your own stream?
No, but
I'm not staying too much longer.
What is this, an MSK stream?
I'm not, but if you're leaving,
I will look at it in like 10 minutes and then see if you guys are still going. All right.
You can close it up. You can close it up. I'll get Jaded on another one. I just came in here to trash Nerdman because Nerdman.
Oh, no problem.
Crap. But hold on, Jaded. Since I can't find it, let me see if I can find it, and I'm going to give you the exact wordings that he said. I won't be able to play it, but hold on.
I'm just going by what the movie showed. If they grab Doc Octopus before he dies, oh shoot, he's gone. Well, welcome to the Nerdman Show, starring Jaded Fanboy, because apparently I'm the only one left.
Oh, okay, sorry. All right, so guys, peace out. Bye. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, you gotta let me back. Okay.
All right. So
I'm going by leave. Hold on. If they had grabbed Doc Octopus before he died, then he should have been soaking wet, because he dies while he's falling in the lake, in the river or the lake or whatever, because the thing collapsed on him. So if you grab Doc Ock just before he died, he should have been soaking wet. And and Doc Ock says, I had Spider-Man in my hands. I was about to kill him.
And then he says, I died.
Hold on. But he doesn't die in the movie because after he has Spider-Man in his grasp, Spider-Man ends up taking the thing out of his back of his neck and he becomes good again.
Hold on. Nerdman, are you there? You still there?
Or
did he leave? He left? Okay. Hold on. I will find the scene as soon as I can.
And what the movie does, again, the problem is, Anzo, what the movie has Doc Ock say contradicts what the movie showed. That's the problem I had with it.
Here, hold on. Okay, so here.
Okay. Do you think you can just play the audio without getting in trouble? If you can't, you can't. Don't worry about it.
I don't think.
I believe it. If you say it, I believe that you're saying the truth. I'm not gonna.
So, okay. So now he's talking to Osborn. What happened to me? What happened to you? You're the walking corpse. What do you mean? You died, Norman. Years ago.
Right.
You're insane. God, I love it here. What are you talking about? He's dead. They're both dead. Fighting Spider-Man. This is Sandman.
Yeah, that's Sandman. It was only he would know.
Right. It was all over the news. Green Goblin impaled by the glider you flew around on. Yeah.
Because that's how he died.
Later, Doc Ock drowned in the river with your machine. That's nonsense. This is what Doc says. Spider-Man was trying to stop my fusion reactor. So I stopped him. Hold on. I had him by the throat. And then I...
See?
Hold on. And then I was here. Okay, yeah, he says that.
Yeah. He doesn't say he died.
But hold on. But this is Jamie Foxx. I was absorbing data. I was about to turn into pure energy, and then, oh shit. I was about to die.
Yeah.
So they knew they were about to die.
Yeah. Oh no, the only person, according to the movie, the only person that would have known that they were about to die would have been Electro.
That's what he said. Yes.
That's the thing.
Yes.
He wouldn't have known about, again, the movie went, because we're establishing how it worked with Doc Ock and Green Goblin, we're going to assume it worked that way with the other ones. The problem is that it can't have worked that way with the others because none of the other ones knew that they had died. The only person that could have even claimed that he knew that he was going to die would have been Electro. That's the difference.
Yeah, but they weren't brought there because they were going to die, though. They were brought there because they know Spider-Man. But that's what I'm saying is Spider-Man does what he does and tries to stop.
And he wants to save them. I'm not arguing that. I'm not telling you that. That's Birdman.
Doctor Strange was about to send them back to the same moment that they left, which was right before they died. That was my point.
Okay. The thing was with Doc Ock, because he wasn't wet, it had to have been before.
Yeah. It was.
So
but
if you send Doc Ock back just before he dies, he would still have time to have changed.
Right. Go ahead.
Well, because again, Doc Ock was still controlled by the tentacles when he was about to kill Spider-Man. So if you send Doc Ock back to where he left, the next thing that would have happened is Spider-Man would have taken out the thing. And because again, Doc Ock didn't die by Spider-Man's hands. Mm-hmm. Doc Ock died because he sacrificed himself. Mm-hmm. Right? So saying that he died at Spider-Man's hands was a lie, is what I'm saying.
Well, Doc they didn't necessarily say that. Right. They never necessarily said
and
that.
And Electro, you could say kind of died by Spider-Man's hands, but not really because he was the one choosing to do it. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying it's like it's not working as easy as cut and dried as the movie was saying. That was the issue. That, like, again, I don't know what Nerdman's original point was. I'm just saying that it's not as clean cut as.
Well, you see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You are correct. Because now that I watch it back again, yes, Dr. Ock didn't say that he died, right? But at that moment, Lizard explains that he died. Lizard explains that William Dafoe died. So Peter Parker was like, "Oh, I'm gonna send them back."
As far as he's concerned, they're going to die, so he's going to try and save them.
Right.
I'm not.
But when Doctor Strange sends them back, he's going to send them back right to the moment before they die. So even if Doc Ock knew that he was going to die, it would have been at the moment where the reactor was about to fucking explode, and he still would have had to sacrifice himself to save it.
Again, he still would have died because, again, he would have gone back to the exact same moment.
Yes.
Peter Parker would have taken out.
Yes.
Right. So again, he still would have died. Like, nothing would have changed.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it doesn't work as simple. Again, I don't know. I don't even know why he brought it up. I don't even remember what the point.
Yeah, because Nerdman brought it up because I'm trying to make points about it, but he's trying to be like, oh no, this and that, and I'm sorry, I thought the movie was boring. Like, I did not like.
Again, I'm not saying anybody has to like this not like this movie just because I thought I enjoyed it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I want to explain, because the thing that you said that was boring, because you had brought this up with Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. The beginning of the movie was all set up. Well, that's what the Flash movie was doing. It was all set up. The thing is, you didn't care about the setup, so for you it was boring. But with Miles, with the Across the Spider-Verse, you liked the character, so you wanted the build-up, and you didn't mind it as much.
Yeah, but I like Flash too.
Again, but obviously the build-up that was in Across the Spider-Verse kept your attention more than the build-up in the Flash.
Yeah, because the build-up in the Flash was boring. Like,
okay, and I didn't.
It wasn't about keeping my attention. I found it was boring. I was just like, okay, like, can we get some stuff here? I thought some of the comedy was just silly, and I guess the reason why is because I did not like Ezra Miller's younger Barry. I hated him.
Yeah, I understood. I understood the point of the character, so I didn't mind it.
I just thought it was just like, I said it was annoying. Everybody's like, oh, he was supposed to be annoying, but he was annoying in a goofy type of way. You could have made him annoying, but not goofy.
Like I said, he was channeling, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. He was being that type of character.
That makes sense. I can see that. But the part where he's sitting at the table and he's eating the fucking spaghetti, and he's like, "You're Batman." He has all the spaghetti on it.
And the spaghetti stuff again, overdone. I'm not defending that. Like I said, it was sloppy and it was messy and it was awkward, but it still worked for me. That was the thing. It still worked. I'm not denying that it wasn't sloppy and messy and awkward. It was. And I'm looking at it and I'm going, oh my God. But then I'm going, oh my God, they somehow made it work. And
see, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's sloppy. That's what I've been saying. And they're like, no, it's not sloppy. It's really good. It's a great movie. It's not sloppy. And I'm like, it's a sloppy mess, bro.
Oh, yeah, it was sloppy.
You can tell that this was not the movie it was supposed to be.
No, because again, I think there's supposed to be a 4-hour version of this.
They cut out a lot. They cut out Henry Cavill was supposed to be in it. So to me, it's kind of like a Justice League, except it was done a lot better than Justice League. I'll give it that, right? But it was just like a convoluted mess.
Yeah, because when I first see Michael Keaton, right, and he's a hobo, and I'm going, you have to explain that. You can't just have them like that and not have a reason. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I definitely called that out. I had a major problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, you're not Batman because there's no more crime. Okay, so you can still be an industrial billionaire.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's no reason for you to be in your robe and all beard and all shaven, and there's no. Like I said, it was sloppy and it was messy, but it still made things work. But I liked it. And like I said this before. If this movie came out in 2010 or that timeline, right? I would have gone, this is not that great. But because I've seen so many movies that just had all this broken, brain dead, stupid, this movie not having the things that I hate elevated it more than it should have.
Oh my God, I swear to God, Jaded, your fucking takes are almost as bad as Cole's.
Oh, that's
Like,
fine.
no word of a lie. You and Cole, like, you know, Cole hates everything, and I understand, and it's just like some things I'm just like, okay, really, Cole. But with you, you hate everything, and sometimes just like whatever.
I don't
The
hate
fact that you liked it,
everything.
everything, you hate everything, every
I don't hate.
fucking thing you hate. And
I hate
when Nerdman, when I seen you post on Twitter that you liked it, I was like, oh my God, Jaded is smoking some serious crack. Did you find it funny?
The humor was different, and the humor that they had, I did like. Like in the beginning of the movie, when after he rescues the baby and he rescues the nurse and he drops the nurse was still screaming, and it was like, that was good. I liked that. It was hilarious.
No,
He was
that was no.
I don't know. I liked it. I don't know what it was. It worked for me. The thing, like there were parts where it went overboard and it was trying to do what. Again, I'm only saying MCU humor because I use that phrase because Nerdman.
Yeah, it was definitely trying to be MCU.
There was things of MCU humor.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I didn't have, but again, it was sprinkled. It wasn't like scene, funny quip, which is what the MCU usually does.
I think
I don't like using the term MCU does it because DC movies have done that too. Like, don't get me wrong. It's not exclusive to the MCU. It's just known as MCU humor.
Mm-hmm.
So this movie did that too. But because it was sprinkled, not a scene and then a setup like, oh, language, you know, it wasn't punchline. It was part of the scene, and you had to be part of it. Again, it was just a different type of humor for me. And again, because I'm so used to what I've been getting, this movie gets, I don't want to say it gets a pass, but it gets elevated more than it should have been.
You definitely giving it a pass.
Again, there's not enough. It's not a broken mess of brain dead stupid. There's not enough stupid in this movie to make a video about. Because again, there are issues in this movie that I can call out, but again, it would be a 10-minute video. So it's like, because again, I can call out issues in the first Terminator movie. But again, there's like maybe 3 at the most. I'm not going to make a video.
There's no perfect movie out there.
Well, there are some. Again, if they're dramas or they're serious movies, it's a tighter script, so they don't have to worry about, loop plot holes as much.
Yeah, but still, the movie that most people say is perfect is Shawshank Redemption, and it's not.
Oh, okay. I've never seen the movie, so.
You never seen Shawshank Redemption?
No. The closest I got to a movie like Shawshank Redemption was The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. Because again, I just don't like. I'm not a I don't like Steven Spielberg. The only movie that he did that I liked was Jaws, and what was it? No, I hated E.T. Oh God, I hated E.T.
What?
I hated that movie.
See what I'm saying?
Even as a kid, I knew this movie was crap.
I rest my case. When did you see it? Did you see it when it first came out? I saw when it was crap as a kid.
Crap. I didn't care. I didn't care about E.T. It was an annoying character.
Oh my God!
The Eminem scene. I was like, oh my God, please.
Not Eminem, Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces, whatever it was. Jesus Christ. I go, it's an alien metabolism. How does he even know he can eat that food? And then I'm going, well, wait a minute. How is he eating? He's been hiding. He has no food. He hasn't been eating. What is he doing? Because again, don't forget, at that age, I was also watching, 2001. I was watching.
But he was also an alien, so we don't know how long aliens could go without eating.
Right. And I'm saying, okay, I was still a kid. I didn't think that far ahead. But I'm also going, how does he know that he could eat the M&Ms? And why wasn't that a problem?
Because he would try, at least. You know what I mean?
Well, why? Why would he be even eating the Reese's
Pieces?
Because
he's hungry.
Okay, but how does he know that's food?
Hold on, bro.
How does he know that's food?
Because he's seen them eating it. They were eating
it.
Oh,
he did? Oh, I can't remember. Again, I only saw it the one time. I can't remember.
So here's the thing. Right? If you were out in the woods, right, and you were out in there for 3 days with no food, I bet your ass would be.
Oh yeah, you would be eating the leaves.
You would be trying to find any kind of fucking animal to eat it.
Well, yeah, again, there could be berries that are poisonous, that could be bad for me, but I'm still gonna go. It's like, look, I'm dying anyway. I'm gonna try it, whatever. I was just that. I don't know. I don't know. As a kid, I just didn't like those type of movies.
I agree with you, nerd man. Jaded is a liar, you know, and you don't.
How am I a liar?
You don't need to have this propaganda on your show anymore, for real. 100%.
I am not a liar. Nothing I say is a lie. I don't have to. I don't have to lie. Reality is bad enough. I don't need to make shit up.
No, I'm sure he was talking about me. I just put it on you.
No, I don't
hate the Iron Giant.
No, I love Iron Giant.
Again,
I thought Iron Giant was great. I love the
Iron Giant. The stuff you were saying. You're a professional liar, Hanzo. You're a professional liar for the MCU. You know goddamn well that shit in the beginning of Spider-Man No Way Home did not make any sense. You know that.
Yes, it did.
You know it in your soul. You know that the silly buddy comedy was just as much filler and boring as anything.
Absolutely not.
Michael Keaton and Flash had something emotional that connected them. There's no thematic relevance to Spider-Man's story with Doctor Strange. There's nothing. No thematic.
Well, fucking Batman and Henry Cavill Superman had something in common, and that was so emotional too, right?
So I'm just gonna leave it like that.
What? You did it? What? The Martha scene?
You're a professional liar for the MCU. You need to seek help and an exorcist, and I'm going to leave it at that.
MCU does it better. MCU does it better. You can close it up because I got to run too.
Let me know in Twitter when you guys are finished, but just try and not keep it too long because.
No, I mean,
you close it up. I'm done.
Fine.
You're done. You are done. That's right. You are done. I'm glad you know you're done.
I'm done trashing this garbage movie.
All right, then.
Frankenstein of a movie that Nerdman is in love with. Oh my God, you guys! And you know what's funny? Even Danny said it.
I thought you were done. I need to go, bro.
Yeah, I know. I just want to say this real quick. Even Danny said it. Danny said, you know, we already knew that Nerdman and K-Dot were gonna love this movie regardless, and they were right. He was right. Comic chat.
Said what?
Why does K-Dot like them? Did K-Dot love the movie?
Of course he does.
Oh, he did? He loved the Flash. Okay.
Of course.
Yeah, but he's tapping.
I liked it. Hold on. I didn't love it. I liked it. There's a difference.
He isn't capping. That's a lot for you. By the way, he isn't capping for it.
I wouldn't call this. There's no way I'm calling this the greatest superhero movie ever made because it's not. It's not.
But I was not capping for it as much as K-Dots.
Just the way you capping for it now, making me hate this movie even fucking more.
What have I said? What have I said that's false? You can say it's boring. That's just subjective. I can't do anything about
What you capping about is the humor. You capping about the acting, saying it's better than anything in No Way Home. That's all caps. It's all caps.
It is. That's true. That's straight facts. No Way Home isn't that good. So there's no. That's not even.
It's way better than this movie.
No, it isn't. It really is.
Better than this movie. Spider-Verse is way better than this movie.
This movie would be way better than it if it had better VFX. That's
Across the Spider-Verse is way better than this movie. If
the effects were good on this movie, it would be better. Anyway, we can argue to the end of time. You're wrong. I'm right. I have to go. Peace out,
guys.
I'm
definitely gonna have Jaded